I'd,
Well, I was thinking if is my daughter around me protecting me.
has you lost your daughter?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Let's see what we've got here. Well, uh, well, the first card I have here is the High Priestess, and that's one of the cards that I look for when somebody asks me to see a thing like that, because the High Priestess sees behind the veil being that which separates this world from the one to come. So this is something positive is going to emerge from this reading. Here's the Death card. That's another. See, okay. The cards are falling into place here. The card that I have, and there are two cards I have here, and we can read these as a message. They're both tens, and tens are about completion. Tens are, in this case, very positive. There's the 10 of cups and the 10 of coins, which is a card of, these are both cards of happiness and cards of family. And the 10 of swords, I have 3 10 cards here. These are cards of completion, which of course, you know, her time here was completed and now she's somewhere else. The 10 of swords, though, is an interesting card in that it means the worst is over and I'm not suffering anymore. So I'm not going to ask you to go into any details about this, but the message I'm getting is that I've found completion, fulfillment, and there's happiness here, and that the message. And I get these. This is what's so peculiar. I get these a lot when I do this kind of reading, almost every single time. And the message is about happiness and joy. And that's what I guess what they're saying is that, and it's useless to say don't be sad because we're always going to be sad. But it says that that I'm happy, and that's the message that I'm getting very emphatically from the spirit, because I have the High Priestess card and the Death card here, and I'm the interesting thing about the 10 of coins is that it's a card about ancestors, and it's almost when I get that, and I get that a lot with these readings, is I'm with my ancestors. So this is a person who is the spirit is doing very well. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else you want to look at?
I just wanted to know, am I right about my health?
Well, let's see what I see about your health. And of course, if you have any doubts, you know, check with a physician. Very important.
Yes, sir.
As somebody who has had his share of medical visits in the last couple of years, I can tell you. I'm seeing that you're very strong, you're very powerful, and you're going to do well. I mean, I'm not getting anything bad or good, if you know what I mean. I see life just continuing for you. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
But if you have any doubts, get a checkup, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Oh, there was I haven't heard a dial tone in so many years. It's always quaint when I hear that. I like dial tones. I'm sitting here. I'm looking at a phone from the 1920s that I use, which has a dial on it, and I can no longer use the dial. So that my phone calling has been drastically limited from that particular instrument. But you'll see one day. You'll see what I've got here. I've got a nice brass candlestick 1920s phone, which I don't think originally had a dial on it. I think somebody put that on. I could probably get a touch-tone dial pad for that, but that would look pretty damn weird, don't you think? Amber in Des Moines, Iowa is next. Hi, Amber. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello.
Hi. How are you tonight, Amber?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. What can I look at for you?
I was hoping to connect with my dad.
Okay. Let's see what we've got. Oh, boy, here's a good one. The moon card. Have you been dreaming about your dad?
Very much so.
because that's what that card is about. It's the subconscious and dreams and oh man, that's a good sign. Let's see what we have here. Um, I have the Judgment card, which is references Last Judgment. So that's pretty much a confirmation that this is an afterlife reading. Um, the Ace of Cups is here. That's a card of happiness. Everything is. I mean, I've got nothing but little happy cards here. It's so peculiar because whenever I do these readings, the message comes out happiness, even though there's a hint of sadness. The sadness of being gone is there. It's always there. Like in the Moon card has teardrops on it because there's always a tinge of sadness. But the spirit that I contact is always happy. And that's the message that they definitely want to get across. Here's the happiness and health and growth. There's the sun. It's all good stuff. So that's again, these readings get so bizarrely dull, they've come to. I seem to reach the people when they've come to terms with what happened to them. Once I did a reading, and it was quite clear that the soul that I had reached was not happy at all about what was going on. But that's a whole other story. There's a book in that one. But here, everything is fine. I just shuffled them again, and I'm still getting cards of happiness. So,
Good.
That's the short and sweet answer. That the message is I'm doing okay. Here where I am. Well, okay.
All right.
Anything else you want to look at, or is that it?
Could we look at maybe I don't know, my marriage?
Well, I've got the Lover's card right up at the top here. Now that also has a deeper meaning, not just simply romance. It's about making a choice. So it seems to me, and I also have the Hierophant, which is a card of marriage. So the cards are again, the cards are working for you. They're telling me that they're hearing you. This isn't going to help you at all, but it's telling me that there's a choice that you need to make in terms of your marriage. Now you knew that coming in, though, but they're not going to tell me what the choice is, and I wouldn't even dare to interpret the cards to tell you what to do because the cards have more faith in you than that. The cards are very successful, and they're telling me that whatever choice you make, you'll make the right one for you. You've had some rough times. That's the 10 of Swords. That's the card that says the rough times are over. The 6 of Rods is the card that tells me that whatever you choose to do, it's going to be good and it's going to be successful for you. Okay, this is the second time I've had this card tonight. The 5 of Swords tells me there's somebody here who's making trouble for you. Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna win. You're not gonna be victimized by that person, but there's a person there who wants to make trouble for you. You don't have to give me any details because I know that this is going to be intensely personal. But what I'm seeing is that you're going to make the right choice for yourself, and you're going to do okay for yourself, and the hard times are going to be over. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else you want to look at?
No, that was all.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
And I will, after the show, I will light a white candle to send positive energy your way to help you with what is undoubtedly a difficult choice. But like I said, the cards show me that you're going to do what's right and you're going to be happy with your choice. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye now. Let's shuffle them up now. Oh, there goes my nose again. Does it sound odd? Does my nose sound funny to you? My nose is running. I used to have one of those little wind-up toys with a nose that walked around, because my nose was running so much. But now, it's the old pick up the phone and say, is your refrigerator running? And, well, if you had a misspent childhood like mine, you know what comes next. It's the same as calling up the bowling alley and asking if he's got 10 pounds. Oh, never mind. Ava in Phoenix, Arizona is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I hear you.
Nice to talk to you.
Oh, glad you could call through. What can I look at for you?
Um, I guess, like, can I start with just a general what Spirit wants me to know?
Are you on a speakerphone? Because I'm having a little hard time hearing you here.
No, I'm on my regular phone. I'm just
Oh, okay.
in a hallway, so it's probably echoey from that.
Yeah, it's a little. Sounds like you're in a big church. So, what exactly did you want to look at? I didn't quite hear it.
Can we look at what's going on in my with my career in education right now?
Sure. Um, well, that's outstanding. I got the Ace of Rods. That's a card here. That is a card about career. So there are new things coming your way in terms of career, which I would hope in terms of, since it's linked to your education. The Page of Coins is here too. That's a beginning of a stream of money. That's pretty good. The Magician is somebody who's got the power to make things happen, and you're drawing spiritual power from above, and you can use it here. You're going to be very successful. The Six of Rods, that's rods again, our career. That is a card of success and getting what you want and achieving it. The Two of Rods is here too. That is also, you're getting a lot of, the work is the main thing. Career is the main thing here that you're concerned with, because I'm getting all these cards that are rods. The Two of Rods is about waiting for something to happen in your chosen field. That's the thing. It's gonna take a bit more time, but here's the Ace of Swords. Now this is important because you mentioned education. Swords can be about strife and struggle, and that all depends on the other cards in the reading. But they also have the meaning of mental activity, and you're learning, and you're in school, and that is mental activity. And I'm seeing that in the sense that the Ace of Swords is going to be related to the Ace of Rods, which you have here, which is your education is going to lead you to a very good career in terms of what you want to do, and you'll enjoy it, and it's what you enjoy doing, and it'll pay well. The King of Cups is here, and that tells me that you're probably, in terms of work, you're more interested in the fulfillment angle than just the financial, correct?
Yes.
So you'll get that.
Okay.
Let's just end it with this then. The Ten of Cups is the card of perfected happiness. Your education, see, you asked about education and career, and I have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Rods, which is about both of those things. So excellent. Yeah, and it's all happy. It's all good. So you're going to be all right.
Okay.
Anything else to look at?
Can we look at my love life?
Sure. I don't mind that at all. Well, what would you like to know? Or just see what the cards show you?
Just whatever the cards show me is fine.
Okay. Did you recently have a not too good experience romantically?
Yeah. Yes.
Because I got the Nine of Swords here. That is a sad card, and that is generally, things not working out. Now, the Six of Swords is next, and that's a person who just picks up and keeps moving. So that's good. That is absolutely good. The person is moving from rough waters to calm waters on a little boat, and you're pushing yourself. You're getting there. So it stings. It hurts. You're not ready yet for another round of an affair of the heart. That's the Eight of Swords. Shows me that you're a bit tied up still, but it's coming, and it'll be okay. You're not the kind of person who freaks out when you're alone. That's the Nine of Coins. I had that earlier for somebody. You're centered in a way that you can be alone and still be happy, and you're not one of those. We all know people who are constantly, they need somebody. The Lover's card is here, but the Lover's card is the next one. It's in your future, and that'll be successful. Now, here's something I've got to run because we're running out of time, but I do have a few minutes, so let me tell you what's going to happen here. And I have 100% record of almost being right. How's that? This is the Four of Cups. That is a fascinating card in terms of relationship because it tells me that somebody around you is interested in you, but has not made it clear.
Okay.
So Keep an eye out. See if somebody's paying a little more attention to somebody you know. See if it's somebody paying a little more attention to you than usual. See if that person is leaving the door open a little bit, metaphorically speaking, or literally. Then there'd be no doubt. But you know what I'm saying. If you look at the card, if you're familiar with tarot, or you can go online and look at the Four of Cups. It shows a person sitting there looking at three cups and contemplating the affairs of the heart. And there's a hand coming out of a cloud holding another cup, offering it. And that is the new relationship that's coming, but you don't see it coming. So
okay.
it may take you by surprise, but it's going to be somebody who's near to you. And oh boy, here's the King of Cups. I'm glad you got this, because the emotional compact with you is very important. And you're hurting a little bit because of what happened, but you'll get through that. And let me leave you with one other one. This is another cup card, and this, I'll leave you with this. It's the Three of Cups, which tells me that you may be meeting this person through people you know. Okay?
Okay.
So, but it's good. Sometimes it means the completion of a matter in plenitude and luxury, but it also means that something comes about romantically through your friends. So keep an eye there. But you're very young, I bet, and you'll keep going. Well, to me, everyone's very young now, But, you'll see how that happens when you hit my level. You'll see how suddenly everyone's young. But you'll see what I'm talking about. But you'll be okay. You have something coming, and it's going to be very good. I want to leave one last card for you. Oh, the Three of Coins. Oh, back to work. You're going to be starting when you do get a job, when you do get into your career, when you do get the work you're looking for, you're going to start with an assignment that's probably temporary. Keep an eye out for that, because you'll excel at it. You'll do so well that it'll lead to other offers. How's that?
Okay, that sounds great.
I've got to run. I've
All right.
used up my time for the week, but I will send you positive energy with a white candle as soon as the show is over. How's that?
That sounds good. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now. And folks, that's it. We have hit the wall. We have come to the end. Can you believe it? We've come to the end of another episode of Reverend Elliot's Magical Window here on the Ask One Radio Network. And I didn't sneeze once, although my mouth is so dry. Oh, man, I'm gonna drink some dehydration fluid, which, rather, let me say hydration fluid. Drinking dehydration. What would dehydration fluid be? Vodka, right? That would do it. That would dehydrate me and throw me away. But no, I'm going to be drinking a nice, tall, cool glass of hydration fluid, because I don't like being dehydrated when I'm sick, and it doesn't help. So let's get into a few things here now that I want to always remind you of. My website is magic-works.com, magic-works.com, magic-works.com. There's like 100 and something pages there of interesting magical stuff that you can look at and have fun with and play with and contact me with, and you can see all kinds of interesting things there. Recommendations of books. There's videos there. Oh man, I one of the things I love seeing is when I look at my reports from the website on a daily basis. I see people who just tool around and see a lot. I don't see who you are personally. I just see that somebody visited from someplace and then hit a lot of pages. And I love that. And then there's mojoacademy.org, mojoacademy.org, for a book there that will change your life. mojoacademy.org has a great selection of books, including books that I haven't written, but I have reissued. So those are all there, mojoacademy.org. You can also find at magic-works.com a contact page for me. So I will be back with you again next week on Reverend Elliot's Magical Window. Until then, remember that who you are is the universe's gift to you. Who you become is your gift back to the universe. Bye-bye now.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Jacqueline Close-More Live with Jacqueline Close-More. Jacqueline Close-More. Live from jacqueline.com.au. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Jacqueline Close-More Live on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Jacqueline. You're on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. Coming to you live from Melbourne in my office. There's stuff in the background. It's always good. Look, books. Oh no, wrong side. How about now? Anyhow, what an interesting week, and happy Chinese New Year to everybody around the world. It's a 7-year. And also Year of the Water Rabbit. So we've had the water tiger running around, splashing about furiously this last year. Now we've got the rabbit. And so what about Year of the Rabbit? So Year of the Rabbit is also Year of the Cat, sort of a dual sign if we think about it. And so the rabbit side is kind of like, if we imagine the desire to be in the home, cook, clean, create, detonate, renovate. Procrastinate, so baking as a form of procrastination or meditation. You thought I said something else, didn't you? Anyway, and so that can be a rabbit habit when you're sort of feeling a bit, oh, I don't want to be outside of the home, or I just really like being here and people. You know, I mean, rabbits love their family usually. Not always. There's sort of a tendency to like family, to like home environments, to all this kind of energy. So doing things in the home makes sense if you're in more of a, you know, a desire to kind of go within. So we sort of think of the rabbit and the horse and the cow in the Chinese astrology. They've all got the eyes to the side of the head to see, not the inside, but the outside, to see what is chasing them to make them into dinner, right? It's like, is there a tiger chasing me, right? Whereas a tiger, you know, the dog here, the tiger, eyes are to the front of the head, and that's so they can see what they're chasing to make into dinner. So Year of the Rabbit people can be really good at sensing, you know, how things are. Like, should I get in the lift with that creepy guy? It looks a bit weird to me. Something's going on here. Or no, that's perfectly fine to get in the lift with that guy because I'm just feeling like nothing, you know, like it's fine. So there's a tendency to be able to sense danger. And if you look at rabbits, they sort of, they test things by a bit of a nibble and a bit of a sniff, you know, not just the eyes, but you know, like this. And the heartbeat of a rabbit goes about 150 beats a minute. So I was like, oh, I've got to, you know, do things rather quickly. Sometimes, you know, there's sort of a sensitive kind of energy to that. And so the problem for Year of the Rabbit people is when they're getting into a bit of fear or a bit of anxiety or a bit of like panic, then it's like run, you know, like, you know, there's that song, you know, run, rabbit, run, run, you know, it's all about not wanting to be dinner. So totally understandable, of course. So there's good survival instincts there usually, but there's a lot of family instincts. And so, you know, in that survival instincts, it's like running into the warren and being underground and sort of away from, you know, away from danger. So there's that side to the rabbit. And then you've got the cat side to the rabbit, which is the eyes to the front of the head. I can see where dinner is, very instinctual. They land on their feet. They're very well balanced. And it's sort of like, oh, cuddle would be nice. Not there, though, and not here. And frankly, just get away from me. I'm sensitive, don't you know? But I like you, but no. So also you think of the cat and you think of catwalk and models sauntering down the catwalk. It's like, here I come, baby. And cats, as you know, an animal totem for people, nightclubs are full of cats. Like, look at the laser light. Here we go. It's like, doo, 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 boom, boom, wow, wow, wow. You know, that's sort of like the place for cats, right? Whereas the dog, it's sort of like, love me, love me, love me. Whereas the cat's like, oh, love me, but no, not there. I'm going to climb across the top of the couch now, and I'm going to yodel in the other room so that the people on the phone with you or the video call think that you're a very bad human. That's what I'm going to do. You know, just ask my cat. That's what he does. It's kind of hilarious. No, I'm not going to yodel. Don't worry. But you sort of think of this year, and it's going to be kind of like the cha-cha. You sort of think of the moves in cha-cha. It's like do do do, boom, you know, and it's like back and then do do do, boom. And so you may find a kind of a stop and start energy to this year. Bit manic, and you know, rely on the instincts. Use your patience. Patience is good. Yeah, you may find that patience is tested because it's a 7 years where you could find people more aggravating than usual, or you know, just trying to set the boundaries or even cross the boundaries a bit. So, yeah, having patience. I often find that a really good analogy is if someone's cutting you off in traffic, right? A really great way of dealing with this is not to get angry and do the very Aussie thing of screaming obscenities out the car at how much of an idiot you think that person is, but instead, it's like maybe they've shat themselves, you know, like maybe they've shat themselves or the lactose intolerance. They just had a full cream mocha latte and it's starting to impact, and they got to get home before that impact completely impacts, right? And they're having to like race home, and that's why they've cut you off in traffic, because they've got to go right around that corner and narrowly miss a truck coming straight towards them just to get home because they've got to get to the toilet. That could help. That could help you through this year. You just think maybe they shat themselves. It's just going to be maybe a nice philosophical view of why that person's being unreasonable. I mean, there could be 1,000 other reasons, but I think I like this one most, yeah, because why not? Makes it more entertaining in a way. It's sort of like your compassion is right there if you know that or you think that maybe that person shat themselves. You're going to think, well, if I was in that situation, I shat myself, I probably would be a bit impatient, you know, and I probably would be doing crazy things maybe. So that could help. It's just a way of coping with idiots, I think. You know, so maybe use that. So this year, you know, if you sort of think of the cat and how it sort of watches things, sits there and then pounces. So that could work for you, unless you're trying to pick someone up at a nightclub, in which case I don't suggest that because they may have a little bit of a problem of being physically assaulted. That could be an issue. Yeah, so don't do that. And as a psychic this year, you may find you pick up a lot more in dreams, or you may actually find that you get more creative or intuitive at nighttime. Quite literally, and that you know, spring could be particularly interesting. So wherever you are in the northern or southern hemisphere, or possibly the western or eastern, but you know, it's going to be a time to kind of, I think, use your patience, choose your moments very carefully, and then pounce at the right moment, but not in a way that harms anyone. Let's not harm people. Physical assault's a problem. Yeah, so things like that, and things around the home and the family will be of more importance. Now, it's a water rabbit, so what does that mean? I guess if you're born in the fire year anything, and or you have a fire constitution, which is different to what year you were born in, by the way. Sometimes it can be the same, but they're not worked out the same way. But if you have a fire constitution, or you are year of the fire something, you may just find this year it's not so much that you are burnt out or extinguished or overwhelmed, washed away. It may just be that there's extra pressure to be more focused on the things that you're actually passionate about and stripping away the things that are not actually helpful to you. This year, it's really good to be kind of aware of your emotional state and your dreams. So maybe journaling emotions and journaling dreams can help you sort of be more in touch with what's really going on for you. And certainly doing those sorts of things helps you develop your psychic and intuitive senses and to listen to it a lot more because you're slowing down enough to do that. So also, before I leave the show, it will be my first attendance at a psychic event expo this weekend at Cranbourne, at the Cranbourne Hall in Melbourne on Sunday, 10 till 4. It'll be my first time there since the passing of someone I want to pay tribute to and give honour to and respect to, and that is a very honourable, graceful and beautiful leader that was Maureen Barras in Melbourne. She was a leader in the spiritual sort of esoteric wellbeing and psychic communities in Australia. A wonderful, graceful, assertive leader that really was a beautiful support to me and many others in the field. It's been quite sad for me and many others, but we'll be all there on Sunday giving support to her daughter and her family. Leslie Williams and Sarah and everyone else, so sending my condolences to them, but also, it's going to be sort of a big day for us all. But anyhow, we're going to be back next week, and there's more shows coming up on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV this afternoon, evening and morning, no matter where you are in the world. In the meantime, I'm going to get on to more clients today and available around the world, no matter where you are. Okay, catch you next time. Lots of love to you all.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Soul to Soul with Medium Kelly Kristen. Live from MediumKellyKristen.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Soul to Soul
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Soul. I am Medium Kelly Kristen. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. I hope everyone's having a great week. I hope everyone's shining their light bright, like we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. I actually brought a very special guest with me tonight, my good friend, Amy Figueroa. And I brought her because she is one of those people who shines her light bright every single day. So, I met, well, first of all, let me say, welcome, Amy. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, hey, Kelly. Nice to
Hi.
meet you.
You too. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on here with me. So I try to always share my friends that are, the ones that are bright and shiny and do amazing things. So Amy is a mixed media artist. She uses journaling to actually do meditation. She is a channeled writer and intuitive artist. So we're going to get to find out all about that tonight. I actually met Amy at a paint party, right? And it was at one of the studios that I used to work out at. And, when you just know, like, another soul, that's kind of how it was with her. Mostly because she has that big, bright, shiny light, but also because she has a very beautiful soul. So I'm lucky enough to call her friend. We, get to hang out together. She's local with me, so I thought she'd be perfect to bring on tonight. So, Amy, first of all, can you just tell us where we can find you on social media? Because I don't want to forget that.
Okay, you can find me at Amy, AMY _ FIG _ Amy Fig. And then I also have a separate account for my business, which is called Book of Magic. And that's at Book of Magic with a K and _ on Instagram. I'm at Book of Magic on YouTube and also on Etsy, Book Magic with a K.
Okay, awesome. And I will put that all on my webpage at mediumkellykristen.com or on my social media. So I already know what you do and how amazing you are, but maybe you can tell us like how you started doing this, what got you interested, or have you always done this?
Well, I've been doing art journaling for I've always drawn, I've always painted my entire life. And I found art journaling on YouTube by watching other people do it about 10 years ago. Um, I thought it was a genius idea, a way to practice learning painting skills and also writing. I love to do both. And so I just dove deep into it and became obsessed with it. I watched, a million videos on it, and I developed my own way of creating in there. Um, After trying and failing many times to teach art journaling as a class, I realized that I'd rather just stay home in my cave and work on it and make it. It kind of it evolved into my own meditation practice, and it 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 just became a place to go, kind of like a temple that I could just go and forget about everything as when I was in my journal. And so I learned how to practice my intuition, and I learned about channeled writing by looking at videos from Lee Harris, who's very famous for channeling. And he was talking about an exercise that you could do to channel would be to ask yourself the question, what does my soul want to say to me today? And then answer that question through writing, stream of consciousness writing, just letting it all flow out. So how I started was by watching YouTube videos and then tweaking everything to what felt right for me.
That's really beautiful. And I have to say that Amy is also a very talented artist, right? So while if I were doing this, I could also do the process, but my artwork would not be the same. So she has that beautiful gift. But also, one of the things that I love that she did during COVID was she made these little, I guess you would call them tutorials or little videos that showed the process that she went through. And I just thought it was really beautiful because I actually tried it. And so, Amy, do you remember the one like where you just had us do like kind of channeled writing, just write down whatever we wanted to, and then we kind of did like a painting on top of it? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to show people is to do the channeled writing on a piece of paper or in your journal and then paint right on top of it. And you can allow whatever words you want to show through, to be seen, or you can paint over all of it. But I love doing that. It's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was, I think sometimes when we get the words down on paper, it's so like freeing kind of, right? And it's really fun to do the artwork, even though mine wasn't so great, but it didn't matter, right? Because it felt like it was the way it was supposed to be. So that's one of my favorite things that you do or did. And I know that you do little videos, like time release ones of how you do your journals. You want to talk about your journals a little bit? Those are beautiful. The ones that
Yeah.
you make. Yeah.
Yes, I've been recently making some scrap journals or what might be called junk journals. It's just a bunch of scraps of paper, like kind of book paper. Some of my drawings are in there, paper that with paint splattered on it. It's anything that might spark some inspiration for you to create on top of it. So I bind those myself, and I'm selling those on Etsy. But I'm making them and talking about them because it's what I can see in my community is that we're all becoming more aware and more conscious of ourselves. And we're learning so much about ourselves all the time. And myself included, I started finding it really fun to record all of these revelations that I'm finding in this journal. And then adding art with it, it makes it, even more special. So, and then like you were saying, how you or other people might feel that they don't have the art skills, like they haven't had the practice yet.
Right.
I'm also making collage sheets of my drawings so that anyone can use them, and you can download them easily on Etsy, and they're only $3, and then you can cut them out and put them in your own journal and add writing and add other collage elements to it. So you're actually creating the design, but I'm just helping you a little bit.
Right. I love that. That's perfect for me. Okay. We have 2 minutes left, I think. So let's just I want to talk about really quick about the intuitive painting that you do. And I know that you did one for me, like maybe 2 years ago, and it was of my spirit guide. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
Is that okay? Yes. So I think you did that intuitively, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Yeah.
The process of that would be tuning in to myself and having you or the client in mind, and then just opening myself up to whatever information comes in. And I was using tarot cards also as an extra element of guidance, and then just letting an image come out. And if the practical way of looking at it is that whoever it's for will see what they need to see in it. If you see your spirit guide in it, then that's what it is for you. So it was just like an extension of me tuning in and practicing my own intuition.
Beautiful. I love all that. And I think that's one way that people can learn to shine their light bright, right? By journaling, by painting, writing. Actually, Amy is going to agree, or I'm trying to convince her to do a class with me. So that'll be on my website where she'll come help teach or co-teach with me. And I want to thank her for being here. All this information will be on my website, mediumkellykristen.com. And I can't wait to work with Amy, and I can't wait for you to meet her in classes as well. And I don't know, do you want to say anything else, Amy?
This was really fun, and it went by way too fast. Oh my God.
I know, it goes by so fast, but we'll have you on again.
Look at my artwork. Go look at my artwork. Amy Fig on Instagram.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for the Empowering Intuitives Talk Show with Reverend Dr. Michelle Walker. Reverend Dr. Michelle Walker. Live from empoweredwellness.org.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is the Empowering Intuitives Talk Show
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Empowering Intuitives Talk Show. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Michelle Walker, and the owner of empoweredwellness.org. And so if you want to know things that I'm up to, please visit the website. There is so much information on there. I have a lot of workshops that I will be doing that will be in person, but also via Zoom. So you might want to check those out. As you know, you've been following me. I like to do a lot of different teachings on metaphysical topics. And I was trained as a metaphysician and a spiritualist reverend, and I utilize all the tools in my toolbox to bring you the information that you get every week. So A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV has been an amazing platform, and I want to thank them. This is my last show with them, and I'm going back to doing my show. It'll be on my YouTube channel, and that is going to start next week. So you guys can check it out there live. So please see what all the offerings are. They're constantly changing, and there will be a TED Talk later this year. So I'm excited about all of those things. So tonight I just wanted to briefly talk about, because if I have one last show to talk to you, to this diverse group, I want to talk to you about the importance of body, mind, and spirit healing. So what does that mean? Every single thing you feel in the physical body has an emotional, spiritual, and physical component. And just look at all the different modalities, okay? Any kind of energy work, they're working on the energy that's blocked in the physical body, and it's typically emotions. Just think about yoga. When we do goddess pose, we do different hip openers. What happens? There's a lot of emotion stored in the hips, and so then you often have a lot of emotional release. So if you have something going on in the physical body, couple resources that I love. Louise Hayes, You Can Heal Yourself. I love her book. And let me give you an example. This is a very common one that I see with a lot of my patients. It affects a lot of people. Lower back pain. Okay. So yes, maybe if you got an MRI, there may be an actual structural thing going on causing your pain. It could be your posture. It can be lots of things physical that are going on. But when you look in Louise's book, or you talk to spirit and you ask them to bring the information, they'll talk about lower back pain has a lot to do with not feeling supported in life. And so that often has a thread. It often has a repeating pattern. So maybe you didn't feel supported by your parents growing up, or by your partner, or whatever, or your employer, and all of these things. So maybe there's an emotional component here that plays out in a lot of different ways for you to heal. Remember, every single thing that's going on is to help you heal your body, help you heal yourself. And there could be a spiritual thing going on here. There may be you in another life were chopped off at the waist, or maybe you had like a puncture wound or something like that. So there's always, I've been working in healthcare for over 28 years and working with different modalities for 30 years, trying to heal myself and the things that I had gone through. And I've learned all of these things to help my patients and help all of you. So I do recommend looking at, and the other thing is Wayne Dyer, another fantastic spiritual teacher that has a lot to say about our thought patterns and how we get stuck in it. Think about this. If this isn't the truth, I don't know what is. If you wake up in the morning and you're like, my back hurts, I don't feel like getting out of bed. Any of us in the Northeast, when it's really cold, we can say that, right? Because we got a lot of snow. But if you continue to acknowledge it and to continue to say it and can repeating, what happens? Your pain gets worse. You feel like you can move less and less. Or you send loving, healing energy to that area and you say, it'll be okay. I'm supported. I'm loved. Yes, I have a little bit of discomfort. Let's stretch. Let's do this. You try to go around it, and you'll notice that it's not in the forefront of your mind. So take all of what I have to say, see how it applies in your life, because I guarantee you, if you stop and you think for a minute, there's multiple ways. So if you really want optimal healing, if you really want to be your optimal well-being, you have to look at every single physical thing and look at the emotional, energetic, spiritual connection. That is how you truly heal it. Yay! All right, that's my soapbox on it. But honestly, there's so many different things that you can do to stay away from Western medicines, medications. You know, a lot of times in Western medicine, they just want to throw meds at everything. But there's so much more to it. There's diet, there's exercise, there's emotional health, mental health, spiritual health for really well-being. All right, guys, why don't we take some callers? Yes. All right, we have Catherine in Queensland, Australia. Hello, my dear. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yes, I'm excited. Finally got through.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Now, did you have an area that you would like me to look at?
I'd say more my lower back.
Your lower back. That's we just talked about that. All right. Well, I pulled a card here for you. This is the 3 of Autumn, this fairy, and they're talking about following your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do. Being compensated for your creative talents. So right away, as soon as we tap into your energy, I feel like the lower back, there is some stenosis. There's, as I'm looking into the back, I feel like you have several bulging discs, and so it's compromised the disc spaces and a little bit of stenosis. I do feel like there's you might be getting sciatica, where you get that sharp pain in the lower back, but it comes through the groin. Sometimes you get that numbness down the leg. They're talking about doing some physical activities. Yoga is amazing for it. The other thing that can be very helpful is something called a chi machine, which helps move the energy in the body, right? That's a big component of this. But this is also tying in with the card, is look at the areas of your life where you feel like you haven't been supported. And this has a lot to do with inner child work, I'm getting. Does that seem to make sense?
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing for you very clearly is that you need to take some time, try to quiet the mind, maybe, go into a meditation or something and come out of it where you feel really still. You know what I mean? Like you're just calm, the mind's not racing, and they want you to do an exercise for your inner child work, where you're going to picture and imagine the smaller version of you sitting in front of you, and you're going to say, I support you, I understand you, I have you. Things that have happened are for your highest good. And look how we got through this. Like you're going to give yourself a pep talk like you would your children or, your nieces, nephews, all of that. Like you're going to be the role model for you when you didn't have that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And one very, very powerful way to do this is to actually look in the mirror and tell yourself and stare into your own eyes. That makes me get chills every single time that I do that. But you need to hear that from you, that no matter what happens in this earth, no matter what happens financially, physically, you are going to be able to take care of you. And I feel like that is a fear on a high level, not the inability to care for yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Spirit wants you to know that's a normal human fear, but we can work through that, because if, God forbid, something happened where your health declined, you will be surprised the amount of support that comes into your existence. So another affirmation that you can tell yourself is that I'm always supported. The universe always supports me. They're always looking over my shoulder and protecting me. Like start, like Abraham Hicks, I'm hearing like they do like rampages of positivity. And that's the kind of stuff that they want you to tell yourself and get excited about it. And I promise you'll start to see a big difference within the hips. They also talk about yoga, and those hip openers are very good, but you may very well benefit from something called myofascial release. It's an unwinding of the energy in the meridians. So I feel like there's maybe a practitioner around you, and if you can get one of those sessions, you might be pleasantly surprised.
So thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, before you go, I have a mother-like energy that's coming forward. Is this your mother that's in spirit?
No, she's still here.
Your mom's still here. So it's mom's mom. It's coming down on the female side, very maternal energy. So this must be grandma.
She's still here as well. Maybe great grandma.
Ooh.
Yeah, my grandma's still here. Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes if they're still living, they can come forward. And
yeah,
I want to go back and say, no, this is mom. Mom is very strong-minded and strong-willed. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Because she's pushing in, and she wants you to know that she did the best that she could. And she wants you to know that you are way stronger than you give yourself credit for. She wants you to pat yourself on the back, because no matter what life has thrown at you, you've kept a positive, loving heart where others may have not.
Yeah.
And she wants you to know that they see. The word she's using is they see. People see the kindness that you are, the kindness that you do, and you're always there for everybody else, and you feel like not everybody steps up for you. And this is a huge lesson for you to give what you can, but you must take care of yourself first. And sometimes I think the reason why mom's coming in right now, even though she's still on the earth plane, is she says, you're going to hear it coming out of my mouth instead of hers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, it's funny because sometimes they do that. They'll pop in and they're still on the earth plane, but very much so, mom. And she's giving a big sorry. She feels like she lets you down. Would you understand what she means by that?
Yeah, yeah.
And she's asking for forgiveness, but she would never say it to your face or ask for it to your face. But she really needs you, and you need to be able to find a place of forgiveness.
Yeah.
And when you can do that, there's something called Ho'oponopono that you can research up. And this is something very much so that can help you heal and move forward. You do not have to speak it to your mother's face, but you can like look at a picture and you can do this work. Call in the divine, ask them to assist you. And you do this, you may have to do it several times in order to start to release the energy and the tension and the emotions that have been stored up over your lifetime. Okay. But I promise you, true healing is coming forward. So use these techniques and you will see a big difference. And the last thing that they're talking about is magnesium. So I don't know if your level is low, but I feel like you need some magnesium.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, my dear. Well, I'm going to leave that with so much love for you.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Yes, you too. Thank you, my dear. All right, we have Sarah in New York, New York. Woohoo! I love New York City. Hi, Sarah. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you. What area would you like me to look at for you?
What does that mean?
Is there a particular focus or would you like just a general reading?
Just something general.
Okay.
Or,
all right, very good.
Or if there's anything in regards to like family or anything like that.
Okay, we can certainly look. I pulled a card for you. This is the 9 of Spring, and it talks about protecting the fruits of your labors, prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead, and environmental conservation. And so what I'm getting from this is right off the bat, I get a male energy that steps forward, feels like grandfather coming forward. And he's talking about finances. It's really important that you know where every penny goes and curb spending for a while. They want you to save a little bit more. And some of the necessities, and he's doing air quotes here, some of the necessities aren't truly necessity. Do you understand what he means by that?
Yeah.
and he's just like he's pointing at me now. I'm like, wait, why am I on the table here? But he's like getting my nails done, that's not a necessity. But he very much knows how to make a dollar spread. He's also talking about conserving your energies. And so I feel like there may be I feel like you've been trying to work on balancing your emotions and not letting other people rattle you as much. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And he says, stop beating yourself up. This is a normal ebb and flow as you learn. It's a practice, right? Sometimes you do really good. Sometimes you're not doing so good. And that's okay. It's all okay. He wants you to remember that sometimes all you need to do is be a mirror for people and mirror it back to them with love. And instead of taking it on, and they're showing me, I don't know, they're showing me this, this gentleman, he's a monk. He talks about, oh, I'm sorry, I just can't pull his name right now, but they talk about people can say whatever they want. If you do not accept that criticism or their frustration or anger or their words of any kind, if you don't accept it, then they have to deal with it. It's like that's their stuff. And it's learning to build up your energy and ground your energy so that you're not as rocked and rolled. I'm also hearing there are some crystals that could be very helpful for you. Shungite is an amazing one that you may want to get. You can get raw pieces and actually put it in your water and drink a little bit, like not all day long, but you can drink like a glass of that throughout the day. That also helps protect from electromagnetic frequencies. It also helps your energy. So when you drink it or you wear it and you keep it on you, it also helps deflect a lot of negativity. but it also serves as a constant reminder for you. So if you're going to carry a rock in your pocket, you're going to be like, oh, you feel it. It reaffirms what it's there to do. So it kind of gives you cues as you move throughout your day. He's also talking about not getting involved in the gossip that goes around and other people's energy. So for example, if a family member called you with an issue and they're venting, he wants you to, and your team, they want you to really learn how to be an active listener, but not taking any of that in. And that's hard because you're a very strong empathic person. So you tend to be blown over by intense energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's lots of tips and tricks that you can do to help you feel more empowered. One, my book back here, on this side, has a lot of exercises to help you like build up your intuition and your psychic abilities, which helps you receive more information from the divine, which helps you be more grounded and more mindful and more centered. So there's some great techniques in there, but there's a lot of other books out there that you can read. I feel like this whole year is going to be a very transformative year for you. And the more self-aware that you can become, the more opportunities you have to heal and to really let go of things for good. And be like, oh, you keep that drama over there. It's not coming over here. So they're talking about that. And also about protecting the fruits of your labor. And this, I feel like, has to do with your job, but it also has to do with your energy. And now, do you have someone that you work with that tries to take credit for your ideas?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, this is where they're talking about that. Stand your ground and use your mind instead of your emotions, because I feel like that fires you up from 0 to 60. And does that make sense? It would
Yeah.
But this is a lesson for you to outsmart them. So when you have an idea, don't talk about it. Because people, for whatever reason, the people around you want to take your idea, tweak it slightly, and take it as it's all of them. So put it down in writing and send it to your boss. And they know it's really coming from you, you know? They're asking, instead of using other people as the sounding board, use maybe family, or what you can do is write it down, write all the thoughts and emotions and whatever you think about that particular topic, and then leave it alone for a day or two and come back with fresh eyes and reevaluate it. So you can be your own feedback, but you got to give it a little bit of time so that it's fresher for you. It could be like one of your close friends that you have that kind of relationship with, but there's also a lot of groups where women support women. And I feel like that would help you anyway, so that you can get healthy female friends and relationships. Does that make sense? Instead of like people always trying to sabotage and be jealous of this or there, you can go on Facebook, you can go on different social medias and really find empowering women that really want to help other women. And you will thrive in being a part of a group like that, because you're not used to seeing that. And unfortunately, it's not in a lot of places, because everybody's out for themselves. Not everybody, but it feels like that sometimes, like everybody's out for themselves. Instead of realizing that there's enough for all of us, and helping other people reach their potential and doing what they love can give you just as much, if not more, joy and satisfaction. But again, Other people may not be at that level. And I feel like a lot of people you're working around are not at that level, but doesn't mean that you can't still be. So you just have to, like you have to be smarter than the average bear with them. You just don't let them provoke you. And if you feel it, and trust me, this is a hard one for me sometimes, I will walk away. I would just be like, you know what, let me think about that. And I'll walk away and I'll just like get all my emotions out. Sometimes I just open up a Word document and just type away. And if I'm really frustrated, if I'm really frustrated, you can hear me do on those keys, you know. But it's a good, healthy way to get it out. And then you could just hit delete and nobody ever has to see it, including yourself, you know. So you can utilize healthier coping. And then you can go back to them with a clearer mind and a different message instead of the knee-jerk reactiveness, you know. So try your best to set some intention as you start your day and ask to be centered and grounded and balanced, and ask your divine spirit team to come in and help you negotiate whatever situation arises during that day, and ask them to help you be self-aware when you're starting to be triggered in the moment. Yes, it's great to be self-aware, but if you're not aware of it for like 4 or 5 hours, it's not all that helpful in the moment, right? The moment's way past.
Right.
So learning how to do this and stay more centered and grounded and present in the present moment helps you excuse yourself. Maybe you say, I got to go to the restroom, and just get away from the stimuli, breathe, relax, shift your focus, and then re-enter it. I used to do this a lot when I had to sit in board meetings and things where sometimes it got a little crazy sometimes. So, you know, it was always helpful to excuse yourself, come back later, and revisit the situation. I mean, you don't want to do that all the time, of course, but be more self-aware and mindful is going to help you. And I feel like by the time you move through this year, you're going to be in a completely different level of consciousness about this whole thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm graduating this year, so for sure.
Yay! So find inspiring, empowering people to surround yourself with. Friends, if you don't have a lot of friends that are like that, make new. Get yourself into some groups. Get the conversation started. Start following people. I love on social media just to follow those people that inspire me, because as soon as I go onto whatever app, I'm getting lots of good information. So take all of this take what resonates, pitch the rest, but trust and know Grandpa's looking out for you. He wants you to be the very best. He's so proud of you, and you're really going to have a fantastic year next year. It's just exciting new stuff. And I'm going to leave that with you with so much love, my dear. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. So again, guys, thank you so much for hosting this show for the past year. It's been amazing, an amazing producer, and I just am so grateful for the opportunity. So again, find me on empoweredwellness.org, and you can see all the things I'm up to, the workshops, the live events, and the TED Talk that's going to be coming up. And again, this show will continue. It'll be on my YouTube channel. So I'll see you guys there. It's under Reverend Dr. Michelle Walker. All right, that's me signing off. I hope you all have a fantastic year, and I will see you soon. Namaste.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for the Teresa Joubert Show with Teresa Joubert. Teresa Joubert. Live from TeresaMediumReadings.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is the Teresa Joubert Show
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the premier Teresa Joubert Show. I am super excited to join all of you. I'm a psychic medium and clairvoyant empath, which means I'm able to see auras around you. I can see people that are crossed over. And I'm a medical intuitive, which means that I can see things that are going on in your body that are not so great. So I try to use my gifts to help people in their highest good for their best possible future. And I love to talk about topics around health and mental wellness and mental health and what happens when people cross over. I got started in this over 8 years ago when I saw Teresa Caputo on my TV, which opened up the possibility that it's okay to use my intuitive and psychic abilities, which is super exciting. So I've been able to see people in spirit since I was a young girl, and I've been able to feel emotions from people all my life. And strangely enough, I thought everybody was like me. Turns out they're not. So that was a bit of an awakening, a rude awakening. But I've always tried to use my abilities to gain perspective on how other people are feeling, how they're thinking, how I can help them with my own unique skill set of personality traits. So tonight I'm going to be taking 2 callers later on in the evening. And first, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a background about me and let you know I'm a twin. I have a twin sister, and I grew up in a sort of small town, and I'm married now. I've got 3 little boys, cute little kids, in a house in the suburbs with a cute little dog. I've been doing readings one-on-one for 8.5 years now, and it's my passion. It's my favorite thing to do, and I do live events and group events. And yeah, I've been doing this for a little while. So when I meet people, I would say that I'm extrasensory, which means that when I meet you, when I talk to you, whether it's on Messenger, whether it's over the phone, or whether it's in person, I can see your aura. I can see what colors are around you. I can feel what mood you're in. I know how you're thinking, how you're feeling, what your perception is on life and what you're going through in this present moment. And I can also see future timelines when I focus in on them for you in different areas of health and wellness or mental health or relationships. So I do really like to help people and sort of target in on topics that can help you to have better insight so that you can live a happier life. And randomly, people in spirit will just pop up right in front of me, and they'll be standing here in spirit form, and then they start communicating with me by gesturing to their body, giving me sensations in my body, giving me picture images, and I've learned that communicating with the physically deceased, because they're not really deceased, just their body that's not here. But communicating with them is it's like its own language that runs along the nervous system. It runs through our sixth sense. And I'm teaching classes on how to use your sixth sense, because we all have this nervous system inside of our stomach that's the size of a cat's brain, and we can use our intuition, our sixth sense, to perceive information that's coming at us. So I have a program that's coming up on September 7th. If you'd like to check it out, it's on Facebook, on my Facebook page. It's called the Sixth Sense Transformation Mastery Program. where I teach you how to use your intuitive abilities to connect to your highest self so that you can make better decisions going forward and not feel like you're in a stuck state. So if you're feeling stuck, you'd like some guidance on how to be more mentally clear, emotionally clear, more spiritually connected, and you're looking for that tribe, I am a perfect fit for that. So I would love for you to check out my Facebook page and check out the events that are listed. And there's a couple of group events that I'm also hosting on September 15th and September 30th, where I'm reading a group of people on Zoom. And I'm able to connect to either someone specific for you, or we can just see who comes through. But that's an ability that I have, that I'm able to target in on specific loved ones that are crossed over. And I think that's a really cool skill. So I'm going to take a call. We're going to take our first caller. We've got Karen in Denver, Colorado. Catherine.
Hello.
All right. Hi, Catherine.
That's all right.
How are you?
Thank you.
Great.
I'm well. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome. What would you like some help with? Would you like to connect to someone on the other side, or do you just want some guidance with something?
I'd like a little guidance in my love life and my career, please.
Okay. Let's see here. Sometimes I'll scribble. You might see me close my eyes. We'll talk about career. How I work is I see a lot of symbols for things. So I see an image of a mountain, which is my symbol for climbing up, and I see this bridge in front of me, and it looks like one of those bridges where you go to one of those forest walks and they look a little precarious and they're going from one tree to the next and you got to walk across a bridge. So it looks like there's a little bit of effort that Spirit is requesting of you to put yourself into an uncomfortable situation so that you can climb a mountain of whatever it is that your dreams are. And I can see your aura colors. You've got some teals and some blues in your aura that I can see, which is very, very logical, spiritually connected, which I love. Usually when there's teal mixed in with blue, it means that you have an ability to calm people down and organize your thoughts really well. And usually the teal is it's like a healer kind of a color. So I do think that you're extremely intelligent with these colors, and I want to encourage you to believe in yourself. Usually these colors belong to somebody in management, and yeah, you're welcome. Like somebody that can make decisions, that can be left on their own, that it might be a little bit more introverted and wants to help people around them. I'm curious what kind of work situation you're in right now. What are you doing right now?
I'm looking for work. I just retired from a 20-year career as a flight attendant. I'm trying to find a new job.
Okay. All right. Well, way to go and congratulations. That's awesome. So it looks like your spiritual self is saying, hey, I'd like to do something where I'm taking care of things and I really like to help people in some way. It looks like your spiritual, when I connect to your highest self, I really feel like there's more of an inclination toward working with people. I feel more of a spiritual connection. So I'd like to encourage you to join groups around where you're located and see, do they need someone to organize things? Do they need somebody to help them to connect with people? Because I feel like there's a spiritual inclination with your aura, or you could get into something sort of managerial. But that means a little uncomfortable. But as soon as you climb that mountain, it looks peaceful. It looks wonderful. So I want to encourage you to go out of your comfort zone. You're quite capable, Catherine. Just believe in yourself, okay?
Thank you.
As for love life, I see an image of a heart that's sort of like expanding, and then I can see some animals around you. Your highest self is encouraging you to spend time with pets for relationships.
I don't have any. I wish I did.
Okay, so now if there's any way that you might consider giving yourself a gift of that unconditional love, I see an image of a kitten or a dog. So I have this ability also to connect to people's inner child. So when we're talking about relationships, I know we're talking about another person beside you, but I can't help that your highest self is telling me, I want a kitten, I want a puppy, I want something to play with that's going to give me unconditional love back, where I don't need to be afraid about if this is going to hurt me or not. Because sometimes that blue color can also mean that we got our walls up because we've been hurt in the past and we're a little bit weary of stepping forward in that direction. So honestly, just going to be perfectly honest, it feels like self-care, self-love, getting yourself a pet and getting yourself in alignment with your career is more important right now than matching up with somebody in a relationship. Because as soon as you do that,
currently in a relationship.
Okay, amazing.
Where it's going.
Okay, great.
And historically,
So
it's
your
been really
highest self
great.
is like, I want a puppy or a kitten also? Okay.
Okay.
Well, with regards to the relationship that you're in right now, I kind of see the same images of walking across a bridge and having a goal of getting to the other side. Every time I connect with you, I see sort of like beautiful blue mountains and walking across this narrow bridge. So I want to encourage you to keep walking that path, not to look down, which means not to let our fears overcome things, and to communicate what your intentions are, and usually patience. Patience is huge. So almost like
the relationship lasting.
Yeah, I do see the relationship lasting, but I feel like some patience is required, and also staying focused is super required, and also opening up your heart a little bit more. So it just keep going. I feel like you're on the right path. I would like to feel more patience and focus, and a little bit more self-care and spiritual connection, I think would make you happier, so that you're happier in the relationship. You have more to bring to the relationship. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you for connecting, and I would love to hear from you again in the future. And you take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you for the lovely reading. Thank you as well.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Take care. Okay, well, that was fun. That was amazing. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Little takeaway from that, it sounds like we all kind of need to focus a little bit more on self-care and loving ourselves unconditionally through relationships that we're in right now, and making sure that we're loving ourselves enough to overflow our bucket into our relationship, and to remember that that's really important to do. Okay, so next we've got Brittany in Versailles, Kentucky, if she wants to come on.
Hello.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
How's it going, girl?
It's going okay. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Super happy, super excited. I see your aura colors are beautiful. You got some pinks and oranges and a little bit of burgundy. Burgundy is a fun and sassy color. It usually means that you're hungry for something. It's actually like the color when people are in line at the coffee shop and they're like, I need a coffee, like right now.
Yep.
Burgundy. And yellow is a really strong leadership, go-getter kind of a color. Like, I want this done. I'm gonna take care of this. Why wasn't this done yesterday? Like, come on.
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
yes.
So, and then orange is a really fun. I love orange. Orange is like social and very creative minded, and really needing to feel needed by other people, and being really good at organizing things. But usually orange needs an outlet, like either music or something sports related, or like contact with people, a little bit more extroverted colors. But yeah, super fun colors that you have, Brittany. And pink is like the perfectionist, the advocate, the person that's like, okay, I'm gonna put up with this crap. I like to say that on the show. So yeah, I want to encourage you to stand in your truth. And if there's something that you really, really want in life, then go after it, because our conditioned self can keep us stuck in like a coulda, shoulda, woulda, I'm not sure. But it feels like you're, based on your aura colors, like wants to start something, wants to take action, wants to be nurtured. And that Burgundy is like, I'm hungry for something more. So I probably should have asked you, is there something that you'd like me to focus on, or where we're halfway done our talk?
So I lost my husband last year. When he went, pretty sure he took so much of me with him. And I have had no idea, like, where to go from there because, honestly,
I can see him standing in front of me right now, just so you know.
Oh yeah, he's very
that's
strong.
What happens? They just show up. I don't know. Do you want me to talk to him for a little bit?
Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
He's touching his throat at me, which is always my symbol for I couldn't speak or I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. And I get such a heavy feeling from him, like, ugh, like it doesn't feel good. I feel sick or ill or medicated, like highly, highly yucky feeling. Did he have cancer or like what happened?
Overdose.
Yeah, overdose. I'm so sorry. It feels like an overwhelming, I'm going to throw up feeling.
Yes.
Well, I want you to know that he is at peace on the other side because he's showing me he's going like this. And that means, and he goes like this to me. So I want you to know that he's showing up with hearts. If you see hearts in shapes, objects, clouds, random things, he's trying to tell you, I'm okay, I love you, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
He's talking about a couple, like he's showing me younger children's. I'm not sure if you have children together or who he's wanting to talk about it, but he wants to acknowledge children.
Okay.
Do you know who he's talking about? It looks like a boy and a girl.
Okay, that would be his son and his daughter.
Oh, my heart's
There's a
breaking
situation right now with his son, actually, right in this moment.
Yeah. He goes like this, which is my symbol for broken. And he's like, he's had so many things and he wants to talk about with that. He's also showing me a vehicle and he's got a face on him. Is there anything about like driving? I'm not sure how old his son is, but he's talking about a vehicle. Do you know what he's saying? What's that mean for you?
There could be a couple of different things. I don't know if he's associating like his death with a vehicle, if he's associating the car accident that he had that could have killed him right before he passed, or if he's talking about his son could be in a vehicle with his mom right now coming to my house. That could be. That's what I'm worried about.
Are you serious? Yeah. Oh, my timer just went off.
She's coming to get his clothes, like dirty clothes, and I'm just like, no.
Okay, so he's saying a few things, okay? He goes like this, which means to stand in your truth and to speak up for yourself. He goes like this, to speak up for yourself. He goes like this, which means take care of him. And he goes like this too, which means take it easy on him. And then he's talking about his son's mom. And I apologize because this is on like radio, but he goes, which means be careful with her because well, you can gather what that
said that so much to me before he even passed. He would say that to me all the time.
Yeah, he's like, be careful with her. So he's encouraging you and asking for you to help him, but not to let this woman affect your mental health, okay? Because what she's doing doesn't feel very good, but what he's asking for you with his son, he's almost like pleading to have a soft spot for him, but also to stand up for yourself. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So he's there. He says, rock. I'm your rock. He's showing me a big heart rock. He says, I love you. He says, you're gorgeous. He's talking about your private parts and stuff and saying, I miss you. Oh my goodness. You have this like
that, yeah.
You've got this wildcat thing about you that just drives him crazy. So
Yeah.
He says that he still loves you and he's watching over you. And he says, whatever you can do to help my kids. I feel like he's trying to talk to you. You might feel his presence because you've got yellow and orange in your aura. You might feel things more because you've got the chakras that are really open, that are in the stomach. So I want to encourage you to talk to him in your head and ask for help. If you get a bad feeling, trust it. If you get a good feeling, great, go for it. But always to speak your truth. Maybe try to have a bit of a filter, but stand up for yourself. That's what he's trying to say. And he says, thank you for helping me. He says, thank you. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And I do, like, I use dowsers and everything to talk to him.
Yeah. Amazing. Is there anything else that you wanted to ask him?
Oh God, there's so much. But what I've been lost about is I gave up like on myself because that's what I do for a living is I help people stay sober. And so when I couldn't help my own house stay sober, like I stopped until recently. I'm just kind of getting back in, but it doesn't feel the same. And so I don't know.
I'm so sorry you're dealing with that. So you got the imposter syndrome going on. You got that little gremlin that looks like a booger on your shoulder going, who are you to help other people when you couldn't, you should just, you know what you got to do? You got to tell that little gremlin booger, you got to tell it to get off your shoulder and give it a middle finger and say, I'm not going to listen to you anymore, because the reason why my soul went through this terrible experience is so that I can have deep compassion for the people that I'm helping already. So I know what it feels like to be in their pain body. But listen, Brittany, you don't need to stay there forever, okay? I feel like our soul goes through these terrible things so that we can extremely feel on a personal level what it feels like to be there. The trick is to just not get stuck. And that's so much easier said than done. But the only ways that I've learned to get unstuck is to cleanse away the trauma from meditation. Sometimes I've done hypnotherapy. I've also done energy healing. They help. They really help, because our subconscious energy field, it gets like one thing after another thing, after another thing, after another thing. And then before we know it, we're so overloaded with trauma from other people and then from ourselves that we're just stuck. We're literally stuck in a frozen state. So I'm wanting to just encourage you to release all of the heaviness that you've gone through, and almost encourage you to look at it in the future, hopefully eventually, from a perspective of possible gratitude. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the experience. But no thank you anymore, little gremlin. I'm good. Yeah. I'm going to talk to myself with love now, and super amazing, positive thoughts like, I love myself. Like, I would really like for you to start talking to yourself like you're talking to a 5-year-old version of Brittany, and say, hey, what does that cute little girl need? What does she want me to do? Does she want to go play? Does she want me to go sit in the sunshine? Does she want to paint something? Does she want to scribble like crazy and write out a really angry letter and then burn it? Let her do that, because that's how we get unstuck. We get unstuck by focusing and listening to our inner child and cleansing from the trauma that we've gone through. And then the trauma goes away, and then it lifts up, and then we're free, and we feel like open and lifted and less stuck.
Very true. Very true.
How does that resonate with you, my dear?
Yeah, perfect. Oh my gosh. This is so awesome. This is so awesome. I love it.
So I got some questions for you.
Though. That is spot on too, by the way. Like, that's been going on since before he went. And so I know there's something. I just need to work on, like, tapping into it.
Yeah. So I want to encourage you to do something, Brittany. I'd like to encourage you to make a joy list. Like, what are some things that little girl inside you wants to do that doesn't quite know how to do, and she wants to do something.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you? Like, what does she want to do? Does she want to go and sit on a dock somewhere? Does she want to go by the water? What does she want to do? And maybe you can share with me now. Is there something that's been sort of on your mind that you've been thinking about doing that would bring you joy, that you've been feeling like too guilty to even do, or too stuck to do?
Work. Yeah, it would be work. It would. They just asked me yesterday to teach Narcan classes at the police station, and so it's something that I know that I need to pray about and think about, because it touches the soft spot. But I know that I'm good at it. I'm really, really good at it.
Okay, well, I want to encourage you with all my heart to do that, okay? And keep picturing yourself doing that, and ask Spirit, ask this beautiful man in front of me, ask him to help you get there, and take baby steps, but put yourself out there. And because when you're happy, he's happy. When you're in turmoil, he wants to shift it. So if you can work on really hard on being happy or happier, you're going to bring so much joy to him on the other side, which is a beautiful gift. Well, I want to thank you for calling in, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to give you some insight. And you take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you so much. You're awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, well, thank you everyone for listening into my show. I just want to remind you that I've got the 6 Sense Transformation Mastery Program starting on September 7th. And we've also got 2 events on September 15th and September 30th. They're called Messages from the Other Side. So you can get yourself a ticket, and that's on Zoom. And I usually give everybody a reading. So depending on how many people get their ticket, get your ticket first, and you'll get a reading with me. And you get to keep the recording. So I just want to thank everyone again for listening in. And please know that your loved ones on the other side, they can hear your thoughts. They know how you're feeling. They know what you're going through. And guess what? They can't help you unless you ask for help, because we have free will. So please, please ask for help. And if something is weighing heavily on your shoulders that you can't control, give it to God, give it to a higher self, give it to a higher power, but you don't have to keep it, okay?
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Soul Talk with Raylene Cable. Live from RayleneCable.com.au.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Soul Talk
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello and welcome to the Psychic A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. Oh my God. Please apologize. My apologies for being a little bit late. That is my fault, not our producer Dave's. I actually was trying to get a better microphone today, and well, guess what? It didn't work. So I hope wherever you are in the world that you are having a beautiful day, night, morning / evening. Okay, so I'm here today. Today I'm here by myself. I haven't got a guest, which is a little bit ashamed, but I will have further guests coming onto the show. And today I'm actually looking forward to doing some lovely readings for all our beautiful viewers and listeners. So please don't be shy to contact A1R Radio to get a reading today. I've had a wonderful week. It's been a very crazy week in a good way. I've just been producing some videos, little bits and pieces that I like to do, and just enjoying the month of October. It's been a big month. September was a big month. This month's going to be even bigger. So I'm just excited to be here as always with you, and I will try to get all my audio stuff sorted out. So my apologies to Dave, our producer, because I really do try to get organized. And here in Australia, we have daylight savings. So how silly am I? I was sitting here an hour before just making sure that I was all, and even then I had things going on. So so then I realized that it's not that over the world, on the other side of the world. So here in Australia, we've gone an hour forward. So now I remember that. I'll remember for next week, and I won't be sitting in front of my computer waiting. So I hope this week has been a soulful week for you. I hope that you've had a wonderful week doing the things that make you happy and soulful. And, you know, I was sitting, we have already Ciara, I think that is how I would pronounce it. Hi, Ciara from Petersburg. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, sweetheart. How can I help you today? And thank you for calling in.
Last night I had a dream about a past loved one, and I was wondering if would come through.
If they could come through, okay. And it's interesting because I feel that dream was meant to be a very, if I want to say, a direct connection with you. Sorry, I'll just take my glasses up. I was wondering what was sitting on my head. So, yeah, I actually feel that your loved one was letting you know that it's time to kind of like know that they're okay, and it's okay for you to move forward, and it's okay for you to make some decisions that are important for you. And I'm getting a very strong yes as I say that. When I get a very strong yes, just for those listening and watching, that generally means that the Spirit's really trying to get that message across. And I actually feel it was a very pleasant, I almost feel like it was a very connected dream. So I love that, and I do feel your loved one was letting you know that you're not alone. You've got a lot of changing times around you, and I feel with these changing times, your loved one is letting you know that they're watching your progress. They're watching where you're at. And I'm just feeling so much love, to be honest. Would you say that after the dream you felt very reassured? Are you there? Hello?
What was the question?
So I was just asking, did you feel very reassured after you connected with your loved one on the other side?
When in my dream?
Yes, after when you realized, yeah, because I almost feel like, I'll just hold this just in case. I almost feel like that the dream was to reassure you that you're not alone and that your loved ones or a loved one is working with you. But I feel a really beautiful sense of peace around your loved one and also around you at the moment. So don't be surprised if you don't have more clarity or more dreams and your loved one coming through more, just to let you know that, yeah, that they're there and that you're actually very open on a spiritual level. Are you there now? Yeah, sorry, it's just, it goes very quiet, so I don't know if it's my end or your end. But you know, it feels to me as though you've got some big steps to take in the very near future between now and Christmas, and maybe your loved one saying it's going to be okay, you'll make the right decisions. That's what I'm hearing, and that's what I'm feeling here, which is really beautiful. I don't feel your loved one is by themselves. I feel there's other spirits around at the time as well. Sorry, other spirits around. I'll just turn off this little phone that I thought I turned off earlier. So does that help you, sweetheart?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And please be aware that your spiritual path's very open at the moment. So your intuition, your higher self, higher divine self is very open to those you love on the other side. So don't be surprised if more activity around dream time and just little signs and little messages aren't coming through, because I actually feel that loved ones are trying to kind of like let you know that maybe you're a little bit more intuitive than what you realize. So I hope that's helped today, Dad. Oh, that's my pleasure, sweetheart, and blessings to you. And thank you for calling in and tuning into the show. It's wonderful. Wow. I have to say, oh, you're more than welcome, my darling. And thank you for calling in. And again, you know, like when I love when we have these moments when I do readings and I'm blessed to have callers come through, because to me, it's almost like there's a very fine veil between here and the afterlife. And, you know, for those who don't understand maybe the spirit world or have a very little understanding, you know, it is a very fine veil. And, you know, our loved ones are still very connected, whether they're here in the physical or not. Their spirit will always be able to get messages through. And I just myself feel very blessed to be able to be one of those vessels, as I call it. I'm like the bridge in between. So, yeah, so when we talk about like mediumship and things like that, mediumship is just the person, or like myself, being able to channel through messages. And for those who've never listened or understood what a medium is, another way of explaining it to you would be like fine-tuning a radio. If you haven't got it on the channel right, you're not going to get clear, precise and specific messages. But yet if for me as a medium, I have to be very clear so I can actually receive clearly. And it was just lovely to do that reading. And we've got Alma from Washington. Hi, Alma. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, sweetheart. And how can I help you today?
Whatever you want to do for me today.
Oh, aren't you an angel? So whatever I feel. So I might just tune in and see what message spirit may have for you, or what might be even coming up for you. And it's interesting because I love your energy. I actually feel like it's the first time in a long time that you feel a little more grounded. Do you know what I mean by that when I say grounded? You feel a little bit more like, yeah, things are starting to move forward.
Yes.
Yeah. And even on a financial level, it's interesting. I feel like there's some new opportunities that may either be around you now or have just come in, because it's just like I've got more opportunity around financial gain. I've also got here that, you know, I feel like you're very connected to. It's interesting. I'm having a very good connecting day today with people being very intuitive. But I get a very strong sense that, you know, there's some new ventures coming up for you. And it's actually coming up the month of November, sorry. Stands out very strong, and I do feel for you the month of November being quite significant for beautiful changes in respects to not so much changing work, but just new elements coming into your work. I feel it's a very beautiful time between now and the end of the year for you to be connecting, getting out socially, because I get very strongly, you've got a very good network of people around you. But you are definitely, I feel a very strong connection to angels as well. So I have to ask you, do you call out to the angels? Do you have angel cards? Why do I pick the angels up around you so strongly, Alma?
Maybe because of my family members that are in heaven.
Okay, maybe, yeah. So do you pray to the angels? Do you see them as being your angels in spirit?
I pray a lot, yes.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And again, that's where I was saying earlier that you are very intuitive yourself. And I do believe that you've had some, and I'm smiling, so I've actually got a few loved ones around you, and I do feel there's at least 1, 2, 3 that I'm seeing, and I almost feel their energy very close to you. And I've got 2 females and a male, to be honest. So when they come in, it's almost like they're around you, but they're constantly around you. And I know that you know this without even, talking to a medium. I know that you actually know that their energy is around you. Can you understand why I'm saying that?
Aw.
Can you understand that, Alma?
Yes.
Yeah. And also, what's to do with the writing? I get writing around you. What's the writing to do with?
The what?
The writing. Do you do any writing, poetry, writing books, writing? What writing do you do?
I don't really do no writing. I mean, I do a lot of reading.
Okay, the reading. Okay. I don't know why, but I'm getting very strongly a lot of writing around you. So it might be that, it may not be that you're going to write a book, but I'm actually getting a lot of writing. So it could be that you've got some notes or things that you'll be writing down that will be important to you. I hear music around you a lot as well. And I do feel that music is coming from the spirit world, which means those around you. So definitely someone in the spirit world loves their music. Who would that be, sweetheart?
My fiance, he loves music.
Yeah. What time? You had different taste in music, though. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And he's smiling as I speak
passed
to you. He's
away.
just smiling. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he passed away 5 years ago.
Yeah, but his music comes on the air a lot. The music that he likes, it feels like he plays it all. Yeah, wherever you go, it almost feels like every now and then a couple of days might go by and you'll hear a song from the type of music he likes. And it's interesting because he says that's his reminder to let you know that you're not alone, that he's actually with you. And and he's saying he's very happy to see you smiling again. He's very happy to see you smiling again. And I think, it took a long time for you to do that, but he says he's very happy to see you happy and smiling again.
Well, that means a lot.
Well, it's been important. I know you know this, but you do realize how much you mean to him.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know you know because he tells me that you understood each other so well. Like, I think if you both talked about it, you both look at each other and go, no one knows me better than you. Do you know what I mean? That's what he's saying. It's like this total respect for how you knew him and how you allowed him to know you on those deeper levels. He knows he's never going to be forgotten. He knows he's loved. He knows that those around him will always honor him. And that's really beautiful, darling. And he's got a beautiful soul. He's a very sweet soul. I can see why you were going to be married and have a beautiful, but you know what, he just says, we had a lot in such a short time. That's what he's saying to me. Can you understand why I'm saying that?
Yes.
Yeah. And he loves the photo or the picture that you have in one. There's a particular place that you have a picture and he loves that photo. So is it a photo of you both?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful photo, and he just loves it. So I know you look at it very frequently because he tells me you do. You always look at it, and And the beautiful thing is when you do, I see that you smile. So every time you look, and you know, he wants you to know every time you look at it and smile, he smiles with you. Wow.
Huh.
It's so beautiful. Yeah, I just felt this whole energy. It's so gorgeous. So, darling, you are a very loved lady from the spirit world, and especially from your fiance. He still loves you. He'll love. He always will love you. He says. So you are the love of his life, and he will always guide you. So he's still working with you and doing absolutely everything that he can to bring you back to that place of happiness and joy, and you enjoying your life. That's what he wants for you.
I'm trying.
I know, and it takes time. You know, it takes time. You know, we can't. Grief is a powerful thing, but you know, often in my experience, honestly, Alma, it is that our loved ones just want us to feel love and joy again, and happiness, because the one thing they know when they leave the earth plane is that we have to go through this, and they know that it's hard for us to find that. So what I always say to my clients is, you know, let people be there for you. They can't take the pain away, but they can ease it a little bit, you know. And don't be shy to talk about things, you know, the things that make you happy, you know, because our loved ones on the other side, what they're trying to do is get us to be happy again. And it's hard for us because they're not here. But, you know, when we remember that they are in spirit, it makes it so much easier because their spirit guides us, hence to say why we're speaking now. You know, it's not by chance. I truly believe that whenever I'm doing mediumship, that the loved ones are the ones that guide that, not me. So I've really, really enjoyed doing your reading today, Alma, and I really appreciate you calling in today. I hope I've helped you somewhat, darling.
You did. Thank you.
Oh, you're a darling. And, you know, keep that smile. Keep that smile.
Okay,
Because when
I
you
will.
smile, smiles. Yeah. All right, darling. Blessings to you. Wow, wow, wow. What can I say? Thank you, Alma. And, you know, again, I also like to acknowledge the spirit world when they do choose to come through for loved ones and for our callers, because I have a very deep respect for the spirit world. No doubt you can all see that. But I find that, you know, it takes a lot of energy for them to come through, as well as it does, you know, for me to you know, conjure all my energy to be a clear vessel. It takes just as much energy for them. So I love and respect the spirit world, and I'm very, very, very honored and blessed to be able to be the medium in between. And, you know, I just, you know, over the many years of doing my work, and I have to be honest, I've been doing it over 30 years as a medium. And, you know, some of it's been in the public eye. I've been on TV shows and things like that. But I always see that as being just an opportunity to help more people. So for me, I just get so overwhelmed sometimes when beautiful messages like the last two callers come through for people. It's beautiful. It's just, and, you know, I think when we take the time just to remember, for anyone out there that has lost a loved one, you know, my heart and soul goes out to you. But remember, they love us no matter what. Their guidance and their you know, divine guidance will always be with us, and they will give us signs and they will give us clues, because, you know, they know that we're aware enough. So sometimes when we're still in grief, we think, oh, I don't feel anything, I don't hear anything, I don't see anything, I'm not getting any signs. But often it's our loved ones still giving us signs, but because we're still in the emotional body and still going through what we naturally have to go through, is grief, we don't always feel that. But it's when, you know, the time is right, that heaviness and that heartache and all those things start to lift. And when that lifts, we then start to feel and get the little signs and messages more clearly. So if you're a person that's lost a loved one, and you know, you've been worried because you normally would hear or see or have a sense of something, and all of a sudden those senses don't seem to be there, don't panic and don't worry, because often it's not that you're not connecting, excuse me, that you're not connecting or others aren't connecting with you. It is just generally because we're going through what we need to go through as a human, and the physical side, we have to go through that grief. And so And another thing, just while we're talking about mediumship and spirit world, you know, one thing I have found as a medium over 30 years is that a lot of people feel guilty when they start to smile or start to feel joy again. And, you know, it's an interesting thing as humans. We have these emotions like guilt and all that. And, you know, our loved ones they'd be so happy for us to feel joy again and love again and happiness again in shorter time, because that's their goal. When they leave the physical world and move on to their spirit world, their goal is to help us to be able to come to an understanding of their passing and to come to terms with. So they try to, like people like myself, through mediums, you know, get messages through to say that they're okay and that it's okay for you to be happy. And it's funny how it all works. But yeah, so that's the one thing I've found for most people is, you know, being able to be happy and not feel guilty about it. Being able to be happy and not to feel like you have to cry every day, you know, because that in itself is a very natural way of healing. So when we actually start to smile again and start to enjoy life again, that is when we are healing. And that is our loved ones. Believe me, our loved ones in the spirit world, they're so happy when they actually see us coping with life again and enjoying the life again, because that's what we're all here for on a soul level. Excuse me. So that's why we're here, everyone, to enjoy and to connect and to love and to appreciate and to do all those wonderful things in life, you know. And yeah, it's not all about sadness and, you know, I don't know, sadness. It's actually meant to be the opposite. So our loved ones in spirit will always try to enlighten us and yeah, maybe play tricks on us and maybe, you know, get messages through in different ways. And that's their little way of saying, hey, you know, I may not be physically here, but I'm still here. So, wow, what a show. Today's gone quick. And I always find, you know, when the day goes quick and the show goes quick, I could talk for a whole hour or so. But I always love being here and sharing with you. And I always love your calls. Thank you. And thank you so much for allowing me to be, you know, able to bring messages through for you. As you've seen in the previous shows, we've had some beautiful guests, and I will have more beautiful guests coming in. And some of these people are beautiful people that I've worked with. For those of you, I actually work on a show called Psychic TV here in Australia, and it's you know, I've been on it for a while, and it's a little while. So, so some of the guests I have are also people that I've worked with in the industry, and they're all psychics in different ways. So I love to bring you different things in to the show, so you can see here in Australia, at least, that we have some extremely talented people out there, and some of those people may not ever come on screen. You know, I always believe that we all have intuition. And some of the housewives at home and husbands at home may be the best psychics in the world, but never come out into the public. So don't ever if you're not a person that's, you know, in the public eye doing your psychic work, don't ever underestimate your own ability or intuition, because, you know, we all have it. And for some of us, we've fine-tuned it. For others, we're still learning. But in the end, we're all working together, and that's how it all comes together. You know, nothing happens without the collective, and the collective is working, all of us working from a soul level and being kind and loving and understanding. So, wow, what a show. I've had a great time today, and I always look forward to being here and connecting with you. And I hope that this week for you is a beautiful week, and that you get absolutely everything from the week that you desire. Yeah, so everybody, please, whatever you do, have a wonderful week. If it's not wonderful, how about you make it wonderful? Because only you can make your week the best week you're going to have. Clear intentions, a beautiful soul, come from love, come from that beautiful space within you, deep within. And remember that you are unique, you are special. And even if you're not the same as the next door neighbor, that's okay. As long as we love thy neighbor and love thyself more than what definitely. I always love having my soul talk with you. I always love coming to you with A1R Radio and Moonstruck TV, because you're all amazing and they're all amazing, and we've got an amazing team. And I, as always, look forward to being here with you and doing more work, more readings, and more connecting. So we're doing the big countdown shortly, so I'm always getting my hands ready. You may wonder why I say namaste, because when I say namaste, that is honoring your path as much as it's honoring mine. So I do hope that your week is beautiful in absolutely every way, and that you remember that you are beautiful on every level, and that we will be back next week at the same time, same channel. Looking forward to connecting with you and your loved ones, and anything else that comes up. So to all of you out there, all around the world, love, blessings, namaste.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for the Soul Lounge with Casey. Live from the soullounge.com.au.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is the Soul Lounge
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everyone, I hope you're all well today. I hope you have had a great week. I today am going to do some card pulls, do some general readings, but I'm also going to be talking about psychic development, spiritual development, protection. I've been feeling really called to talk about this because I have had a lot of people coming to me and asking me about this over the last week or two. So I felt guided to really share this information that's been coming through about this. And it was really interesting because I was sitting here just tuning in and getting ready for today's show. I actually opened up a new deck of cards, which I'll be using today for the collective card pulls. And this card just came flying out the deck, which I'll start off with. I'll use this as the first, collective card reading, but it's very interesting. And this is just a really great, way of validating that when you are feeling guided to do something, you should always follow it, because I felt guided to speak on these subjects today. And then this card came flying out of the deck. And this card here is Ancient Amulets, and it says fortune, protection, skills, and possessions. It's actually a really beautiful deck, really nice card. And this card is speaking of psychic skills and protecting yourself spiritually. So this is really just confirming for me that this is something people may need to hear. So whoever is listening right now and you've been interested in developing your own ability, or it started to activate and you're not sure how to protect yourself, today is going to be the show to listen to. But I just want to channel a message from this card first and pass on what's coming through here. The very first thing I notice about this is the pendulum and the moon. So I feel like, collectively, or for a few of you or one of you listening today, you might be using the pendulum, or if you don't know what a pendulum is, perhaps you're just wondering what other ways you can connect to spirit are. The pendulum is a really just another tool that we can use to communicate with spirit. So you use the pendulum for a yes or no answer. It can even give you a maybe. And if you actually get a pendulum board, it's not a Ouija board, it's a pendulum board, and it just has numbers 0 to 9 on there, and then it's got A to Z. So you can actually buy these boards and you can tune the pendulum in to give you specific answers. So you can attune it to swing, clockwise for yes, anti-clockwise for no. Oftentimes the pendulum will have a mind of its own, and you can just say to the pendulum, show me a yes. Okay. So for those of you who are thinking of different ways and how you can communicate with spirit, I feel like a pendulum is something you should look into. For those of you who are already using it, if you're feeling it's not aligning with you, then you perhaps could purchase another one. Sometimes you might buy a pendulum and it's not cooperating with you. They can be cheeky sometimes. This is generally just a sign that that's not aligning with you and to get another one. Okay, so just tuning into what works for you and what doesn't, and not being disheartened if the pendulum's not communicating with you properly, perhaps just means that you need a new pendulum. Otherwise, cleanser under the moon. I feel it's important to make sure that we are under the moon, utilizing that beautiful energy. You can also cleanse crystals in the sunlight. Sunlight can be really cleansing too, but particularly the moon is coming through here as a way to cleanse your cards, tarot, oracle, and your crystals. They're also okay. Cool. So I am being shown here the pendulum. Okay, so for those of you who are feeling guided to that, you could use the pendulum. Also, if you're using the pendulum and you're finding that it's not cooperating with you, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with your ability. It could just mean it's time for a new pendulum. Okay. I also feel like for a lot of you as well, it's important to not forget to cleanse your crystals. Okay, so put your pendulum out under the moon, put your cards, your tarot, your oracle, any crystals that you have under the moon. You can also cleanse them in the sunlight as well. Okay. Sun is also a healing agent and a cleansing agent as well. So whatever aligns with you more, either the sun or the moon. Just be very careful with selenite or a clear quartz under the sun because it can have the potential to light up. Okay, so we want to keep the sunlight off of, the selenite off of the grass while it's under the sun. Just be careful of the heat. Now, also working with the moon is coming through here with this card, and even not forgetting about your crystal jewelry too, and placing that out and giving it a good cleanse. So heading on to probably the next part of the message coming through, working with the moon. This is also for the women who are maybe interested in how their cycles work. And some people may even be aligned with their cycle and the moon as well. So I feel like this perhaps is going to be an interest for some people, learning to work with their cycle and with the moon. That can be thing, and I feel like a lot of people are stepping into this as well, so learning and gaining knowledge about the moon cycle, but also how it does correlate or intertwine with your own menstrual cycle as well. That is coming through, so whoever needs to hear that, or if there's an interest there, this is just maybe that little nudge for you to learn about that, because there's a lot of people just even collectively that are waking up at such a fast rate. And I feel like it's very important that we are protecting and cleansing our energy. So I do also want to say clearing out possessions is something coming through here with this card. So really just decluttering and cleansing your space. So you might be feeling guided on this next full moon we have to cleanse your house or to declutter, throw out the things that don't align with you anymore. Spirit are coming through and speaking about even chucking out some clothes with stagnant energy on there, or possessions or cutlery, even just anything that you're feeling like, okay, time is done with this now. We're going to remove this from the house and we're going to bring something new into the space. They're just speaking about creating space and decluttering. Now is the time to be doing that. Okay, so I want to talk about the protection side of this, because I feel a lot of people are diving really deep into their psychic gifts and their abilities and pulling cards, working with spirit, communicating with the other side, but perhaps not protecting their energy. So it's really, really important that as you are awakening and stepping into this, world, that you are protecting your energy, just to make sure that you aren't going to have any, psychic attack. And we can protect ourselves as much as we want, and sometimes it might still happen, but we want to make sure we're setting those intentions that we're just allowing light into our space, and we are only allowing genuine energy into our space, especially when we are connecting to people who have passed. Okay, so I feel very called now to speak a little bit on psychic attack. And this is also something that has been coming up a lot in the collective, and a lot of people have been asking me about this. So whoever needs to hear this, or maybe some of you are thinking, you know, what is that? Essentially, a psychic attack is when negative energy can be put onto you. So this could just be something as simple. Somebody might say something not so positive about you, and that can then create what we would call like an attack. So it doesn't always have to be so malicious. It's not always someone just sitting there wishing you ill intent and doing horrible things. It's not always about that or doing magic or anything. It can sometimes just be simply jealousy or envy, or somebody not necessarily agreeing with what you're doing, or feeling threatened by what you are doing if you're successful perhaps, or, you know, working on a new project. And what can then happen when this energy is then put towards you is it can block things. So you might find that things just keep going wrong in your day-to-day life. You might be really clumsy all of a sudden. You might feel quite unwell. You might get cold and flu symptoms. You might actually have an upset belly. You know, you get a headache. There can be all of these things going on. Obviously, if you are experiencing continuous health issues, you always want to speak, get professional advice with your health. You obviously want to take that seriously, but it can also, if you are working in this space, be an energetic attack on you. So the way that you can try and prevent those things from happening is to imagine you're surrounded by white light. You can, when you're in the shower, imagine that that water is white light and it's washing over you. You can imagine yourself surrounded by a violet or purple flame. And you can even imagine that you are stepping into a sleeping bag and zipping it up and it's filled with white light. So they're just very simple and quick tools that you can use to protect your energy and to be in that bubble of white light. And of course, you'd want to call upon Archangel Michael, because Archangel Michael is the angel of protection. So he will be able to help you and assist you in keeping any lower vibrational energies out of your space. And intention is very important. Just having the intention that you would only want to be interacting with energy that is good for your soul, and energy that is going to raise vibrations, okay? Because you want to really have that intention that what you are doing is of light, all right? You can also wear black tourmaline, a black obsidian. They're great protective crystals, but you may feel drawn to a smoky quartz or other crystals. So whatever you're kind of feeling guided to, you could go to a crystal shop or go online and set the intention, you know, guide me to the crystal that will most protect me. I'm a big believer that the crystal actually chooses us. Okay, so see what you're drawn to if you are to put the energy out there. Otherwise, black obsidian and a black tourmaline is a very great protective crystal. You can wear them in your pocket, in your bra. You can wear them around your neck on a necklace. You can have a ring, however it feels right for you. Okay, but having those crystals to protect your energy, and if anything does get sent to you, it will essentially, the crystal will take it rather than you taking it. This is why it's also important to cleanse your crystals. So then they are also releasing the energy that they are taking for you. Okay. So there are a few ways you can protect yourself. When we talk of the cleansing, you know, if you're doing a reading and you've imagined the white light around you, you've called in Archangel Michael, you've saged your space, you know, you've saged your cards, you're all set up and you're getting ready to go. You've done a reading. Afterwards, then what happens? You want to make sure that you are cleansing the energy. That might look different for everyone. For me, I like to go outside and ground my energy, bare feet in the grass, and I just imagine all the energy from that other person or from that reading is just coming down my body and out my feet, and I'm giving it back to Gaia. So I'm releasing the energy from that client. Or and also I will sage. Okay, that's my thing. I always make sure I sage after my clients as well as doing the grounding. But everyone is different. You might find another technique works better for you to release. I do like to go for a swim in the ocean when I can, or I like to have a salt bath with Himalayan salt. That's really good for cleansing as well. Whatever really works for you in a way you can disconnect from the energy. Okay, really important that we're disconnecting from people's energy, because if you don't, you'll find that you have an accumulation of all these different energies. This is also just relevant though to anyone in their day-to-day life. You don't have to be practicing readings, or you don't have to be practicing psychic and mediumship skills to be doing these practices. This is actually going to benefit you even if you're, working at your job during the day, or if you're going and playing sports or being social with your friends, or you have a different business, whatever it is that you are doing, releasing the energy from the day is going to have a huge benefit to you. You'll feel lighter energetically. For me, when I am holding on to too much energy, I'll get a headache and I'll feel completely exhausted. As soon as I do these practices and I release and ground, the headache will almost instantly go away. And that's how I know I'm holding on to too much energy. I do also suffer from migraines or really bad headaches around the time, my cycle is here. So I can know the difference between the two. But it's important that, of course, if you're doing these practices and you're still holding on to a headache or a sore tummy or whatever it is, you do go and speak to your doctor. Always take that seriously, of course. But for me, I know the difference between like a energy build-up headache and then an actual headache, okay? So it's very important that we're releasing this energy. You're also going to feel less stressed, less anxious when you're releasing and letting the energy go from other people, especially if you're an empath. It's even really difficult going to the shops. And some of you might not be aware of that, but when you step into a shopping center or on your way, you might start feeling really anxious. And then you get to the shops and you're thinking, anxious, why don't I want to be here? Why am I so uncomfortable? And then when you leave, you're so exhausted and you just want to go to sleep. It's because you've just absorbed all these energies while you've been at the shops, okay? So if you're one of these people that's feeling really exhausted at the end of your shopping trip, these techniques that I'm telling you about now are really going to help you. Before you go to the shop, imagine that you are in a white bubble or bubble of white light, and set the intention: when I go to the shop today, I am in my own energy and I am protected from anyone else's energy while I'm at the shop today. And call in Archangel Michael and just imagine that you are in your own little bubble and see if you notice a difference. It does help me. For myself, it doesn't completely block it out, but it helps a lot. And if I don't do this before I go to the shops, I am very exhausted when I get home. Opposed to if I do this before I go to do my shopping, I feel much more energized when I'm leaving. So I do notice that difference. And again, it's about finding what works for you, but this is a really great place to start. Okay, it's like a starting point. So these are just ways in which you can help protect your energy, cleanse and release the energy, because it's all very important. Another way of releasing and cleansing energy is also going and getting a healing. So that might be Reiki healing or a spiritual energy healing of some sort. That's also equally as important. They say the healer needs healing too. So for myself, I hold space for people. I try not to call myself a healer anymore. It's something very new I'm trying not to do, because I really believe that we just hold space for people to heal rather than, I'm going to wave my magic wand and heal you. we hold that space, we allow beautiful space for people to come, and we give people the tools and we hold them through their healing. But essentially the client is the one that will do the breakthroughs themselves with that guidance. Okay, so having a healing is very important. I always make sure I'm getting mine as often as I can. I know I definitely don't do it as much as I should, and that is one of my intentions and goals for this year, to make sure I'm being more consistent with that. But if you are working with energy every day, or multiple times a week like I am, then you'd want to be making sure you are getting a healing probably every 2 weeks if you. Okay, because again, it's just another way of releasing this energy and giving it back to Gaia, transmuting this energy so it no longer is in your body and you're no longer taking on other people's traumas and other people's energy. So it's very important that you also, it's like your spiritual hygiene, I like to call it. Having these practices will help you every single day, whether you're working intentionally with energy or not. Just being around people is, being in other people's energy. So we had some cards come out, and very interesting. The cards that have come out here. For the collective read, I'll pull a few. We had Herbal Craft card come out. Again, there's another moon in this one, which is really interesting. And we had Regeneration, Plant Medicine, Caretaker, and Bloomer, which I find very interesting because we're speaking of healing. And then the Plant Medicine card comes out, and regeneration and taking care of yourself, or being a caretaker. So, I mean, you can't make this stuff up, can you? You're talking about something and then you pull a card and it reflects your conversation. So I feel like the message in this card is there are going to be people who are interested perhaps in maybe going vegan, or working with plant medicine, or cleaning up their diet a little bit more, being more conscious of what you are eating, because essentially food is medicine. I also feel like there will be lots of people actually mixing, spells or potions, whatever you'd like to call them, for manifestation and abundance and love, and all of those things are coming through here, and really working with that, and working with herbs and spices, even in the foods. There's a lot of energy around that. And finding ways in which you can take care of yourself and regenerate yourself too. I also feel like people are going to be gardening, like getting out in the garden, planting new things, physically planting things, but also from the energetic point of view, like planting seeds. So working on new projects, setting new goals, setting intentions. Okay. So I feel like we're blossoming. We're getting ready. There's some of you that perhaps are about to see your projects blossom, and your plants and your fruit and veg garden, that might all be blossoming, or there's something here that's growing actually physically. But then we also have energetically the projects or the things you've been working towards are about to blossom. Okay, so there's going to be new things coming over the next couple of months here, or next couple of weeks even. Again, with the moon, which again is coming up quite a bit. So there might be some of you interested in astrology even. I love astrology. I think it's great. But some of you may also be finding you're interested in that too. Then we have the card here, Baraka, and it says power, strength, force, and expansion. This card does feel very powerful. And again, I was talking about the sun earlier, and we've got the sun here. And in the next card I'm about to read, we've got the sun again. So I was talking about the moon and the sun being cleansing and healing, and they come out in the cards. We are drawing down the sun, wildfire, divine masculine, magnificence, and witness. So this card feels very powerful. Again, we've got the plants here. I don't know if you can see them, but the flowers and plants. But this is also talking about reclaiming your power and feeling very powerful and expanding in your projects that you're working on and your goals that you're achieving. Okay, so feeling stronger too, because perhaps you're going to be eating better or taking your health more seriously, and that's going to be more of an important thing to you at the moment. So that's coming through quite strongly there. It's almost like you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. It's like, don't get in my way. I now have finally got it together and I know what I want, and I'm not going to do, let anyone stop me or do what it takes. There's a lot of power and strength in this card. If you're feeling under the weather, if you're feeling a little bit disempowered, this is saying that remember your power, and your strength and your power is going to come back. We're reclaiming that here. And then we've got here drawing down the sun. I feel as though these cards are very feminine energy stepping into the masculine, because the masculine energy is more about structure and drive and getting things done, right? So now we're stepping into that real masculine energy rather than being a bit flowy and okay, it'll happen when it happens. We're now like, it's happening, and we need to step into this masculine energy to get this done and to also maintain what I've just built and maintain these new goals here. So this is all going to be about really sitting in that power and feeling the success and allowing yourself to feel that success. I also do feel in this card, though, we're going to be maybe meeting a male here. And I feel like it's going to be someone that will help you on your healing journey, someone that's going to come to you with a business idea. There's a masculine male energy here who's going to come into your life and help you on this journey. It might even be romantic, but it definitely feels like even the romantic partner will have something to do with your success and your business moving forward. So some of you may relate to that. And the last card is opening circle. Protection, ritual, lessons, and simplicity. So again, with the protection and the rituals, the spells, it's a bit of a theme today. You who are practicing, again, make sure you're protecting yourself. Use some of the advice I've given today if it aligns with you. There's a lot of you that will also be learning lessons. So as beautiful as your journey is going to be, there's here for you to learn, and it's more spiritual lessons and finding out who your true tribe is and who is really going to back you through this process. And I also want to say sometimes less is more. So whoever needs to hear that, especially in relation to business, know that less is more. So keep it simple, guys. Try not to overcomplicate it. Okay, guys, that is enough from me this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all have an awesome day or awesome night wherever you are in the world. Until next time.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Live from Wings of Souls with Julie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Your Time to Shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening, and welcome to the show this evening. I'm so glad that you are here with us tonight, and I hope you're doing well. I was reading something the other day that caught my attention, and I was a little shocked by it, actually. It said that the National Sleep Laboratory said that 30 to 40% of adults have a hard time sleeping. They have insomnia or staying asleep, getting to sleep, and 10 to 15% have chronic insomnia. I can't even imagine that. I love my sleep. Ask my husband. I love my sleep. And, sometimes I even struggle with, not so much falling asleep, but maybe staying asleep. And for me, it's usually spirit of the night trying to talk to me when I haven't given them as much attention during the day as I should. However, we live in such, a technology world that we are constantly, on our phones. We're watching the television, we're listening to the radio. There's commotion going on around us. We are overstimulated. And so, we come home from work, we fix dinner, we take care of the kids, this can be a man or a woman. I'm not being discriminatory here, but you come home and you do all of these things and then you literally just drop into bed. You don't ever have that time to yourself to, wind down, to take a few moments and get over the overstimulation. And so it said that with meditation, it's so instead of going to bed and going, okay, calm down, time to go to bed, time to get to sleep. I got to get to sleep. I've only got 6 hours. It's about turning your mind off and allowing your mind and your body to relax, not forcing it to do that. So meditation is an important piece of this. So whether you are listening to some calm music as you go to bed, or you're listening to a guided meditation, there's lots of sleep meditation out there right now. And I've actually been taking, I said, I'm going to take 10 minutes every night before I go to bed and just turn my mind off and let my mind be at peace. Well, that 10 minutes actually has turned into like 45 minutes to an hour. Time goes by so fast. But when I do that, I've been finding that I actually sleep more sound, that my sleep is more restful. It's more peaceful, right? So allowing yourself that time before you go to bed, even if it's 10 minutes, carve out 10 minutes to be able to just go somewhere and turn your mind off, get out of that stimuli. And I think that you will find that you sleep a lot better, that you have an easier time falling asleep and even staying asleep, right? I always have a little bit of sleep music or calm music going through the night, and I'll wake up sometimes and I'll hear it and then I'll go right back to sleep. So, but just being able to get out of that intense stimuli that we're in, it seems like 24/7, is going to help you relax your mind, get into that, ready for bed, get to sleep mode, and just give you a chance to relax, which we just don't give ourselves enough time to do, especially during the day. So many things on our list that we must be checking off every single day. So try that. See if that works for you. Just taking 10 minutes at a time. And you may find that your 10 minutes turns into 20 minutes or 30 minutes, or maybe even longer, right? Other things that you can do might be taking a shower before you go to bed, or a bath, also to calm the system. Just something that you can do. Even washing the dishes can be a state of meditation. It's something, find some occupied space so that you can just not think about anything, right? It's just giving your mind that break, that nervous system a break. So try that out and see if that helps. A little bit of meditation every night before you go to bed, and see if you sleep a little more sound. Perfect. Well, we are going to go to the phone lines right now, and we have a caller ready to go. We have Becky in in New York. Good evening, Becky, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
What can we do for you this evening?
Anything in general, I guess. I will leave that up to you.
Okay. Perfect. Well, give me a moment here to tune in, and there'll just be a moment of silence as I do that, and then I will be right back with you, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Becky. It's interesting. What I'm getting is there's like this sense of urgency with you. It's like there's this fire. And it's like that fire underneath. It's like to get things done. And the sense of urgency with it. Like you're trying something new, or there's something new coming into your life where there's a sense of urgency. It's like lighting a fire underneath you. Is there something that you're dabbling in, or that you're starting new, or trying something different?
I'm deciding whether or not to make a career change right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I just have to have emergency oral surgery, so that's why I'm talking a little weird. So.
Okay. I'm sorry. So you said there was a chance of surgery in your future?
No, I just had to have emergency oral surgery.
Oh.
So, but I'm in the middle of kind of deciding whether or not to do a career change, and then that kind of came up. So I'm like, was going kind of gun ho towards a career change, and then that kind of slowed me down a little bit. So now I'm like, okay, is there a sign behind all this?
Okay, urgency in both areas then. Okay. Let's see, career change. yeah, they're showing me that would be, you know, a good option for you right now. It's like you were feeling a little bit of burnout with what you are currently doing. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm getting bored with this because I know how to do it inside and out, and looking for something to um what they're showing me is to spice it up a little bit.
Okay.
So the timing of the surgery versus the career change is definitely divinely inspired. Um, they're just asking you to kind of slow down just a tiny bit. There's some things that need to align, okay? And so this healing period that you're going through is giving that chance to align all the right people, all the right places, and the time. Hold on just a second. So they're also showing me that there is with the surgery as well, right? What they're showing me is like your mouth sewn shut, right? It's like mum's the word. It's like mum's the word. Like there's something you want to say, there's something that you want to do, and they're like, mum's the word, not right now. And so there's a piece of it that you're kind of struggling with on that front. It's like part of you is wanting to speak your truth and speak out to it, and part of you is kind of like, no, I'm not going to say anything right now. So they're kind of shifting a little bit on me. So they're saying it's also a matter of kind of sitting back and just taking a look at everything that's going on around you, right? It's this moment of pause to look at everything that you have sitting around you. And because you're in this healing process, it's giving you a chance to do that, to take pause, to sit back and go, okay, let's think about this. Let's strategize, right? So we have a plan going forward. It's not like just charging forward and saying, okay, here I am. It's really about you taking this time for yourself. And that's something that's a little hard for you to do because you are constantly on fire. You're constantly going. And so this is giving you a chance to take a step back and take a breath and really enjoy some of the things around you. Because you've been like on autopilot for so long, right? That you're missing out on the little things.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
Perfect. Yes.
Okay. So during this time, make sure that you nurture yourself, that you do some things that you normally wouldn't do when you have your hair on fire, right? So take advantage of those things and really indulge in them and really enjoy them. Process, you're going to want to get back on that horse and go again, and you're going to be in fast motion again. So this is just giving you and your body time to be in the moment, to be in that present moment, and really enjoy that.
But you think that Spirit wants me to make a career change, or no? After my healing process.
Yeah, I'm getting that would be a good thing for you. It would be a positive, it'd be a positive change.
Okay, beautiful.
They're telling me that, you know, it could be a little bit of a challenge for you, because it's going to be something completely different, something that you haven't done before, right? But it's going to bring a level of excitement back to you and back into your life.
Okay. That's great.
Let me see if there's anything else here. Hold on.
Yeah.
They're showing me that you're doing a lot of writing. Are you doing a lot of journaling, or does your current job have you doing a lot of writing of some type?
My current job does, yeah.
Okay. Are you journaling? Because I'm feeling like you have a very creative mind. And so writing or journaling is kind of that outlet for you. It kind of sets your mind at ease, almost puts you in like a meditative state when you're writing. It's like you're creating, and things are just flowing, right? So be sure to keep that up.
Okay.
Even if you take a few minutes at night, to just write and be creative. Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I hope your healing goes well. Take very good care.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the reading, and you have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. Next, we have another caller. Erica in Iowa is here with us tonight. Good evening, Erica, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right.
Good. What can we do for you this evening?
Just like a reading or whatever.
Okay.
I'm not sure what all you offer.
Yeah, I can offer a reading, a general reading, or if you have a question in particular that you're looking to get answered, I can do that too.
Just a general would be great.
Okay, perfect. Let me tune in to see what the messages are for you. And while I do that, there's going to be a little moment of silence, and then I'll be right back with you, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Erica. So, what they were showing me is that it's like you've been feeling very flat.
Yeah.
Just kind of blah. And they're saying it's time to get up and go. Those were literally the words I was getting. It's time to get up and go.
Okay.
So, you know,
Probably
what they're
why I'm
showing
feeling
me.
that way is I lost my mom back like 2 years ago on Good Friday. Like it was sudden. Like ever since then I've been like different.
Okay. Of course. Of course. Yeah, absolutely. That's a very difficult time. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
So yeah, they're saying that it's time to get up and go, to move forward. And what that means is it doesn't mean that you forget what happened, or you're still in the grieving process, and that's okay. But it's a matter of getting up and finding that something that sparks you again, right? Whatever that is. Finding that passion in life, and finding that peace that makes you sing, that makes you want to get up in the morning and hit the ground running. Okay.
Right.
So they're saying you've had a lot of responsibility and pressure on you over the last little bit, and there's been so much going on that there hasn't been a lot of time for you. There hasn't been a lot of time for anything fun or anything to make your heart sing. And so, they're asking you to get out and either go out and do
Probably
some
because I'm a
things.
stay-at-home mom, and my husband's an over-the-road truck driver, and like between him and I, we've been having our differences here lately, and like I just feel like everything's on me. All the responsibilities, taking care of the kids and the housework and all that.
Right. Yeah, that, okay,
A lot.
makes total sense. So if you can even carve out even a short amount of time for yourself, if you can get out and have, an hour to yourself, coffee with a friend, anything like that, to just have some time for you. Maybe that is, saying, I get 30 minutes at night to do what I want to do, right? Whether maybe that's reading a book, maybe that is taking a bath. I don't know what that looks like for you, but
Yeah,
doing
I wait till
something.
the kids go to bed to have my me time.
Yeah.
I can get like hardly any help from my husband when he's home.
Okay.
Like even take care of our kids.
Okay. Even if maybe sometime during the day, if it's possible, or on a weekend, even if you can get together with another friend, another mom, and even if the kids are with you, maybe, making an outing of it, going to a park or doing something where you can get some interaction with some friends, or do something fun like that. It may not be 100%, being about you, but at least you can get a little bit of joy in having a conversation with somebody else, right?
Yeah, that's I joined Girl Scout, our Girl Scout troop, whatever. I'm a co-leader. So like this is my second year. Like that's my main outing usually on the weekend.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, my daughter was in Girl Scouts. I was a co-mom as well. So those can be some really great and fun times. So definitely, definitely use that piece of it to your advantage.
Yeah,
but also,
we're getting ready to do our shells for Girl Scout cookies now. So it's gonna
yeah,
be
right. Right. Oh my gosh, the Thin Mint cookies. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we got a new one this year. It's a raspberry cookie. So like everything's like changed completely. Where like the raspberry ones are you can only purchase those online. But they look pretty good.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go find some Girl Scout cookies.
That and the Toastiers they're awesome. They're like cinnamon toast crunch cereal kind of. They're like amazing.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Now I'm gonna have to go find Girl Scout cookies.
I'm excited to do this. So
yeah.
What my daughter likes,
good.
she likes me being like a co-leader to help out. So like that's her and our time together.
That's awesome. Those are the perfect kinds of things that you need to be doing right now to kind of fill your tank, right? To be able to fill yourself up with some joy and some happiness, right? So, and definitely, make sure that you're taking time after the kids go to bed to have that time for you and make it a real sacred, special time, right? Make sure that you are, you know, I don't know how to explain this, but make sure that you're fully into it, if that makes sense. You know, whatever that looks like for you, light a candle, right? Read a book, whatever that is. But make it this sacred space and sacred time for you. Okay.
All right.
Because the more that you can do those types of things, that's going to be that get up and go that you actually need. Okay.
All right.
So Erica, so the other thing is, if, you know, as the days get nicer, right, and our weather starts getting a little bit nicer and you can get out more, you can get out in the weather, that's also going to help, right? Being outdoors, you're very much an outdoor kind of person. You gravitate towards that. And so that's also going to help kind of fill that tank up. Okay.
Like right now, I've been like on restrictions because I just had like a pretty massive stomach surgery. I had like 2 hernias the size of like a swollen softball, and then I had scar tissue removed from my 5 C-sections I've had, and then I had a hysterectomy all done at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
I've been kind of like recuperating from that, and that was like worse than having the C-section in itself. So
going on, I can see. So Erica, we are coming down to the last few seconds of our show, and so I want to say thank you for in tonight, and I hope you have a wonderful night, and I hope that time Thank you, Erica, for joining us tonight. I want to thank all of you for joining me this evening. You can reach me on Facebook, Shine, or catch me over on my my website at wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from Lady D's PsychicParties.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Astrology and Psychic Reading
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Everybody, well, astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. So I'm Lady D for your host for this next half an hour. I hope you've all had a wonderful week ahead. So this week with the planet, it is a very positive week that I feel. We do have like the planets that are moving forward, no retrogrades, so it is full steam ahead. We've also got that comment in the sky that I feel like, I mean, I haven't tried to see it yet, but I think we've got till that we can see the comment. We've also, this week, we do have an aspect with Mercury and Uranus. So that's going to come up with some unexpected communication, also some thoughts. Well, I feel like you might hear from people from the past or just people you didn't think you'd hear from, might suddenly hear from this week. And I feel like it's going to be some good aspects too with that. We've also got Venus. So from today, movie sees very relationships with love. We're also dealing with ourselves. To me, and my guides were sort of showing me it's like people sort of have their head in the clouds and daydreaming lips and seeing the positive. They're trying to, sort of one with that. And I did feel like with this and just with this, it is very nice feeling. It can be a really nice feeling that we don't see the bigger picture. We're just in this like on cloud nine. It can be like we want to escape. So we got all this like energy that's coming in. I feel like with this, it's there could be with sort of money. We could be also a bit delusion. We might want to take on more than what we can chew in terms of finances, because when we're dealing with Pisces, we are dealing with a bit of deception, a bit of delusion. It can be quite a foggy energy when we're dealing with Pisces, and to escape. So we've also got with that aspect with the Mercury and Uranus, Mercury being our thoughts and communication and Uranus being a planet of unexpected. Plans may change, but I feel like there's going to be a positive aspect. So I feel like if change do change, that it's still going to be a positive aspect. Or it could be that just one day you going on an adventure and going on a day trip somewhere, and it ends up being a really good day. These are, so I feel like that's going to be really, really good. And we know we've also got the planets coming out of shadow. So the ones that were in retrograde are coming out of their shadow mark this week. So making possibilities. We've got everything in like all together in a row. We know where we're heading. We're putting these plans into action. So it's going to be really, I feel like it's going to be a really good week, where even the changes that are going to come in is going to be a good week. What else I was getting for this week, I did feel Chinese whispers, things wrong. Could be something that you thought was going to be bad, but ends up being quite a positive thing. Kind of reminds me of when my sister, where my little sister, we're 14 years apart, and I came home from work one day and she was only about 5 or 6, and she cut her hair, but she cut it sort of at the front, and she cut it right down the bottom, so you could literally see the scalp. And I remember freaking out and panicking because I was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna get teased. Everyone's gonna tease you. Like, what have you done to yourself?" And but the surprising thing was she actually, because I was going on my fees because I used to get picked on a little bit at school for myself, and when you are a little bit different, you can get a little bit picked on sometimes. Well, for her, it was the opposite effect. She didn't get picked on; she got even more popular. The other kids wanted the same kind of hairstyle as her, and she used to spike it up. And she's very popular with people, and I was just surprised. So the most unexpected things we think can be bad or negative can come out and being facing forward opportunities, as I said before. Lining your ducks in a row. So having everything planned, because we've still got that Mercury in Capricorn. So we are thinking about our plans. We're putting structures into place. We're thinking about the rules. We're thinking about how we can get things done. And at the same time, we know we can get it done because Capricorn's about endurance. Whenever you meet a Capricorn, and you'll find they just get things done because that's what it is about, just getting in there and getting it done. And they work very hard at getting it done, but they'll get it finished, and they're very dedicated at getting it finished. With a Capricorn, I find with Capricorns, and I do have a Capricorn moon, that once they say they're going to do something, they will get it, they'll do it and get it done. That it's going to be about receiving gifts this week. I do feel like there will be gifts that will be given out to people. I also was getting a celebration. I actually got this. So I actually got this more for France, like power to the people. So at that, but generally we hear the song Celebration last time. I got here like that the tables are turning, but it's in a good way. There's a good turn this week. There's a good thing coming up here. I've also got here about awakening spiritual gifts. This could be with the Venus energy coming into Pisces. We're going to have some Pisces, strong Pisces energy this year when we do have Saturn that's kind of in March move from Aquarius into Pisces. So I do feel like it's about awakening spiritual gifts. Communication, I feel like, is going to run more freely and smooth. Time to wake up to people who may be a bit sleepy or not sort of in a different reality, sort of awake, feel like. Live in a practical world because we've got this Mercury in Capricorn, so it is about living in having a logic sense. That may be a little bit hard with the Piscean energy with Venus in Pisces, but it's practical world. I just what you want. So again, being positive, moving forward, feel more motivated, listen to spirit and work on the connection. I feel like it's a big week for those who like spiritual workers or want to work on that side where they feel like they're quite intuitive to work on that connection. Show compassion when needed. I got here. There could be some things about letting go, and it could be about relationships, could be about money, things that you don't need anymore. But there is a sense of letting go. I always feel like when we're dealing with Pisces, or even with Neptune as an ending or dissolving factor. So that may be coming up. I've got here open your eyes to new possibilities. So be flexible. Look at what's there. If something's not working out, adjust. But I feel like things are going to be quite positive, and looking to her horizon. So that's what I feel like what's coming up in the week ahead. As I said, I do feel like it's going to be quite positive. Let's go to the callers. So we've got here Amy, Amy in Jackson, who's in America, who's in Michigan, in America. Hi, Amy, you there?
Hi, yeah.
Okay. Hi, Amy. How can I help you
Hi.
today?
Hi. I just wondered if you had any insight in general, like with my family.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I also got a mail here who I feel like maybe for you. Do you have an uncle that's passed over who's like the life of the party?
It could be a brother or a father.
It could be. It could be. Like I did feel like at first of all I did kind of feel like a dad vibe, but he was also saying uncle. He was kind of saying uncle. But I also feel like he was the life of the party. And I feel like also that there's a birthday coming up because he's showing me a birthday cake and he's got a party hat on. So I do feel like that there's a birthday coming up as well
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and this guy, he just wants like I just see him at this like party and he wants to dance.
Okay.
And, maybe like a daggy. We say daggy here, daggy dancer. I don't know if you get that word in America. How do we say it? How do I say? Um, like maybe he dances like he doesn't care how he looks, but do you know what I mean by daggy? Maybe you don't know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Um, like when my mum gets up and dance, we sort of have a laugh because I mean she has fun. I can't think of I can't get over the way like maybe like old style dancing.
Okay.
Not like classical, but maybe like sort of like I can't yeah, like not hip hop, not happening. Like you wouldn't see them like on his dance moves maybe not be current or a bit like yeah.
Right.
I can't
Okay.
I can't yeah, it's very hard for me to explain. I gotta try and I'm gonna have to work on my slang to see how to convert the slang. Okay, but he is very excited and he does need to talk to you saying he just want to talk to you as well. Now he's showing me in the family that there is the and he's telling me that you guys got to have some fun again. He's like the family need to come together and have some fun.
Right. Okay. That's
Like
good. That
everyone
makes sense.
it's like because it's like everyone's doing like separate things. Like I'm seeing like a barbecue, but everyone's doing their own, like everyone's in their own little groups, different things, and like everyone needs to come together. If you were having like a
Right.
barbecue at a park somewhere,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
he is very happy to see you, and he just wants to be in the mix of things as well.
Okay.
Um, let me just see. Would you have played the guitar by any chance, this man? If it was your brother or your dad?
No.
Okay, I'm seeing him play guitar. Um, I feel like maybe it's just him liking music as well, or maybe when he was younger. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else that you want to say to her? Just let me just see. Okay. Since this might be more I'm gonna say. And I feel since he's or did you look after your dad when he was
Yeah.
the thing? Hello?
Yes. Oh, I couldn't hear you there for a second.
Hello?
Sorry.
It's
Can you hear
okay.
me?
It's okay. I know it's a bit, yeah. The connection's a bit funny today. Yeah.
Yes.
No, did you look after him? So he's saying thank you for looking after him. There's a sense of being looked
I
after,
did.
and
Yes.
him thanking you for that. Because
Okay. Yep.
he's like you are very much like the apple in his eye. He's in awe of you, and he just wants to let you know that things are gonna work out just fine. But
Okay.
together there needs to be made here because he's saying with what's coming up over in April, you guys need to talk to each other and you guys are going to need each other, is what he's saying. Okay. He said if he was here, he's saying that things would be a lot different, is what he's also telling me as well. And he's saying about the guitar. So if he didn't play the guitar, it's like does someone in the living play the guitar or someone he like wants him to play guitar? don't know if you have a son or
My son does a little bit, yes.
work on because he will get better and better, and I just feel like he's like I just feel like there's going to be some good times with that. But he needs to keep on playing that. He's saying. Okay, I'm going to look at the cards for you. Okay. So you've got a relation. You're already in a relationship, aren't you? So I feel like there is someone around you.
No, not currently.
No, you're
not
single.
at all.
Not currently.
Yes, I'm divorced.
But there is like an ex. Okay. Because I do see someone still hovering around. So that could be your ex-partner. Okay, well that's good then because I was this card is standing out at me, which means someone new. Whenever I see this card, for me it's someone new coming in, and I was like someone new. Then I was like, oh, she's been. I knew there was someone around you. Look, I will say with the ex, there needs to be a put up a little bit. I just see them hovering around. But there is someone new, and I feel like that could be happening in April for you, where someone new does come in. This person is going to. They want some sort of responsibility, so maybe this is going to progress into something more, where they're going to work with you. And I also feel like around May there could be a sense of feeling tired or things running out of time for you. But it's like you just got to stay on track because by the time you get to August, you've kind of made it. Like you've made it out of the storm, or you've made it out of the complications that are going to come in. That kind of middle part of the year that's coming in for you. There's also a road trip that's coming up too, and I want to again. I feel like there's something big for you in that April, May, June. For this road trip or traveling, but I feel like I'm going by car or by motorhome. There's some sort of road trip coming up for you this year as well. I also want to say, just don't lose hope and always stay positive. You work very hard, and what you've been working hard towards in terms of finances, I feel like you're going to see to get ahead of that in July.
Okay.
Okay. I'll leave it there. So I hope I've helped you.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, on to the next caller now. So we've got here, it's Darlene in Florida, who's in Kentucky. Hi, Darlene. How are you?
I am good. How are you, Danielle?
Hello. You there?
I'm here.
Okay.
How
Hi,
are
Darlene.
you?
How can I help you today? I'm
Well,
good, thank you.
Good. I lost my husband many years ago. He was my soulmate. And this gentleman I've been talking to, I don't know if he's the one for me or not.
Okay. All right. I do believe in soulmates as well, and I do feel like once we meet our soulmate, to be happy as whatever that's going to make you happy too. And I also feel like to me as certain characters, or maybe it means something to you, but I keep on seeing Cinderella. I see Cinderella. So I don't know if that means or if you can relate to Cinderella at all, or especially when she's transformed into the ball gown and going to the ball.
Yes.
Okay, great. Because I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that. That's what I'm seeing. With your husband, I know you said he was your soulmate, but were you in aura of him? Like he was your Prince Charming? Like you're just in aura? I feel like when you look in his eyes, like you're just in this energy.
Yes, he was definitely my soulmate. I finished his sentence. We both said the same thing at the same time. He was my everything. I lost him 7, 8 years ago.
Okay, yeah, I just feel like he's here, but he comes across as being like Prince Charming, and it's like I see you as being the Cinderella, because your time with him, or as you're saying, it was limited, but he wants to see you happy. Okay, so the men that we have around you at the moment. Okay, let me say with him. Are you unsure about the man that you're with you at the moment? Is there an unsure with
Right.
him?
Well, we've been talking for a month, and I've seen him a few times, and he's really a sweet gentleman. I just don't know if he's really, into it or not.
Little bit. For what I get with the car, I get your husband. Yeah, this relationship. I feel like that there is going to be one that's coming that is going to be long term. I'm just feel like with this one, be cautious. I want to say just make sure you've got your wits about you and make sure everything feels right. And as soon as something doesn't feel right, you need to listen to that intuition with you. So I feel like that this man, he's a very good, like smooth talker. He is very that's the word, charismatic. Um, but there's also there's a different side which I feel like has come March, April, that you may see of him that might surprise you. He's and I want to say that I feel like with you too is that I just need to protect my assets and my money as well. So anything that you do have, I feel like you just need to keep to yourself and maybe just keep it in a safe place.
You mean me?
But
right.
Yes, I'd with you. I just feel like any sort of assets and money that you have, you just need to have it in a safe place.
Right.
But your husband, I feel like he's just saying you do need you'll find someone and it will be long term. It may not be this person. But I just feel like there's going to be come April, May. There's this two sides or two roads that are opening up here, as well. But you got to do what's right for you, as well.
Okay, so the gentleman thing now I'm speaking with, he is not that person, right?
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
You there? Hello?
Yeah.
Danielle?
Yep. I'm back. Yes, I'm back.
Okay, the gentleman I've been speaking with, he's not that person.
Oh, which person? So no, I feel like that. I know there's someone else that's going to come in here. So even with your husband telling me this, there is someone else that's going to come in here, which is going to be long term. I just feel enjoy your time with him, but I just want to say, as soon as you use your intuition, and as soon as something doesn't feel quite right, listen to your intuition, because I feel like there's two sides to this person, and right now everything's feeling lovely, it's feeling nice, you're getting along with him really, really well. But at the same time, when I look at the cards, I am getting a sense of there's going to be something that changes, but I feel like I'm going to around April. We're going April, May, of when I feel like you're going to see something that's a bit different.
Okay.
With
okay.
him, because so
okay.
and I
Can
even
I
with your
ask
husband,
you, the house I'm living in right now, do you see me leaving this place?
I don't feel like it's a good time to leave just yet. I feel like you need to stay there right now. I feel next year may be a bit of a better time for you to move, but I feel like right now you need to Um, oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, the moving, I feel like moving might happen next year more than this year. I feel like this year is more about protecting your asset. So anything that you have that's an asset, including your house, I feel like you need to just protect that at the moment. So
Okay,
I
so
don't feel
no
like it's a good
moving
time
yet.
to move.
Okay.
Not yet. More next year than more 24 than this year. I don't feel like you'll get what if you move, you won't get what you want for it at the moment.
Okay, okay. Does my husband know that I did everything I could for him in his passing to make him comfortable?
He's saying you've been above and beyond and no one could have done what you did for him, and he's really grateful for what you did. You also opened his eyes to a spectacular life, and the life that he lived, he couldn't live it without you. That's what he's telling me.
Oh my goodness, that makes me feel so good.
Oh, thank you. Okay. He's saying bye now. He's there with you and he's going to help you all that he can. I'll leave it there, but thank you for calling in today, and I hope I've helped you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bless you.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. Crazy show, but it works out in the end, just with the dropping out. I'm sorry about that. So if you want to contact me for a reading, you can on my website, Lady D Psychic Parties, or my Facebook, Lady D Psychic Parties, my Instagram, Lady D S Psychic, the same with my TikTok, and I have my YouTube as well. One of my predictions for my YouTube actually came true this week when I predicted a baby coming through our family for the Princess Eugenie. I think it was Princess Eugenie. So anyway, head to my YouTube for all my predictions. So thank you, and we'll see you again next week. Bye for now.